Something brilliant? At Moravian University, the stars shine a little bit brighter, and your path becomes a little bit clearer. Our advisors guide you, our faculty shape you, our alumni help you, and our Elevate experience will propel you forward into unique challenges and unexpected solutions, into unfamiliar destinations and new adventures, into the career you've been dreaming of, into the person you were meant to be. Discover your brilliance and everything else at Moravian University.
before you suit up. Psych up. More than 1,000 pro and college teams. So if you're an athlete of any sport, at any level, the only question is, what fuels you? Honey Stinger.
To prove that mobile from Penteledata Business Voice brings the office everywhere you are, I'm to connect with my team while falling 15,000 feet!
We're here, boss. We hear you loud and clear.
Thanks, Janice. You know, companies today need affordable, cloud-based, unlimited calling, conferencing, mobile synergy, and easy upgrades to grow with your business to keep you, well, truly mobile.
Penteledata Business Voice. Anywhere you are.
Janice?
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little help.
It's here! For real! It's St. Luke's Children's Hospital, ready to help all kids. They're keeping kids healthy, fixing us up, making us feel better, helping kids be the best they can be, because it's about us. The kids! It's St. Luke's Children's Hospital!
St. Luke's Children's Hospital is helping kids with everything, from routine checkups to specialized care.
It's here! It's great! Yeah!
High school football on SEN. Visit SENetwork.tv for the latest schedule.
Support from the Lehigh Valley, Historic Hotel Bethlehem was once again voted Best Historic Hotel by USA Today.
Thank you, Lehigh Valley!
As three-time national champions, we are proud to represent Bethlehem and attracting visitors from around the world. Come visit Historic Bethlehem for an authentic historic experience, boutique shopping and dining, and a visit to the Hotel B Ice Cream Parlor for a Penn State Creamery dessert.
Are you looking to get your hands on Moravian University Greyhounds gear? Head over to moraviansports.com and click the link Sideline Store under the tab Fan Zone to find our Moravian apparel store. Each month, there is a promotion that offers a discount to all things Greyhounds, from hats, hoodies, shirts, and more. Head to the Moravian Athletics Sideline Store today, powered by BSN Sports.
Good afternoon, Greyhounds fans, and welcome to the Greyhound Sports Network, streaming live on FloSports.com. I'm LJ Smith alongside Jared Jenkins, Nate Boyle, and head coach Jeff Long as we get set to take on Susquehanna this afternoon. Guys, how you doing?
Very good.
Thank you for joining me pre-game here as we get set to talk about the Riverhawks. But first, we've been away for quite some time, coming away with some victories and a bye week. So, Coach, talk a little bit about what's transpired the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, last time it was Keystone, right? It was the first landmark game, and then we had 2 road trips and a bye, so we were able to come out on top the last couple of weeks and use the bye to improve. I think our guys have really worked their tails off to put themselves in a position now where you kind of control your own destiny moving forward. It's been fun to watch. So we're excited for the opportunities that lie ahead, and today's going to be an awesome opportunity for us to see how we've grown as a football team.
Speaking of today, also honoring the 1993 football squad. So what does that mean to have this group of Greyhounds back, showing the alumni and the Hound Pack what this team's capable of?
Yeah, I think it's just a special. Anytime you're at a place, right, where we're the 97th team in Moravian history. Anytime you have a place that has rich tradition, you want to honor the success that they've had. So for it to be the 30th anniversary of that playoff team, and us, like I said, we're destiny's in front of us, but we have a chance to now compete for a playoff spot ourselves. I think it's an exciting time for them to come back, and hopefully we can put on a good show for them.
Now we'll toss it to Nate. Nate, Offensive Player of the Week in the Landmark Conference. So talk about that performance last week and how you want to kind of build off of that performance.
It all came off of the momentum we had the last 3 games. We're on a little streak here. All 3 phases are complementing each other. So having a bunch of weapons like Jared and our wide receiver crew and stuff. Our line's been playing a lot better. You want to keep improving every week, and hopefully we do that this week.
Getting buy-in from the whole team, as Coach has said, and seeing that kind of play its way through the season, feeling your way out, now getting to this home game with a couple games left, an 11th ranked squad coming to Rocco Calvo Field. What's kind of your mindset coming into today?
We're going to have to play extremely hard. We're going to control our own destiny, and we're going to win or lose the game ourselves.
Okay, Jared. So a lot of competition throughout this season. Finally finding the targets. You're hitting multiple targets each week. Is there anything special about this core that you're seeing this year?
I mean, I think in spurts you've seen how good we can really be, but I think we're still yet to play a full 60 minutes of offense, defense, and special teams. So, I mean, I'm excited to try to put that together each week. And that's what it's going to take to win these championship-type games now in the last 3 weeks here. Competing for a playoff spot, bowl games, things like that is going to take a full 60 minutes. So, excited to keep practicing, building, and stacking days and try to do that.
So, coming into this afternoon's game, a rival in Susquehanna, the first competition against them in Landmark Conference action. So what's the mindset of you, the offense, and the squad coming into today's game?
They're a good team. We know that coming into it. They're well coached. They've been here before. They're veterans, but we have to come in and play our game. We can't worry about what they're doing. We have to worry about what we're doing. We've been successful a lot this year. We just got to keep sticking to our game plan. They're going to come out. They're going to have bad plays, and it's going to happen, but we have to step back up and keep playing hard, and it's going to take a full 60 minutes of hard-fought football to win the game. So we're excited to go, though.
Coach, we're looking at the first weekend back at Rocco Calvo since that Keystone game. A lot of things have happened in the past couple of games on the road, so now trying to put together a full 60 minutes. What have you been preparing for this game?
Well, I think, again, just paying attention to little things, and as a staff, we're always trying to find the way that these guys here, what they're good at, right? We put them in positions to replicate that as much as possible, and, how does that help attack the opponent, right? So that's each week. We're just trying to find a way to put them in positions to, have an exciting chance to make a play, and now continue to do that each week. And now, again, I told the guys today, as you head into October, November football, the margin for error just shrinks, right? So at the end of the day, we can give them those opportunities, and hopefully we're able to stack a few together and come out on top.
So you have some key contributors from the offensive side of the ball here with you today, defensively improving as well. So key contributors on that side as well.
Yeah, I think defensively it's, again, we're still, like Jared hit the nail on the head. I know it sounds like a parrot, right? It's a broken record, but we're searching for that full 60. But there's some guys that really have stepped up, some young guys, up front, obviously, I know McGuigan, Jeremy's been a name that I've mentioned all year as a stalwart. Nate Carr, is coming into his own. Last week, to be honest with you, we had a freshman, Aiden Lane, at safety step up in a big way. He really made some big tackles and, got pushed into the game at a opportune moment. So there's different names each week defensively that are starting to grow, and I'm excited to see which ones are going to pop up this week.
As we get set for kickoff, Rocco Calvo Field, Susquehanna Riverhawks taking on your Moravian University Greyhounds. We'll toss it to myself, LJ Smith, and Tim Waite in the press box as we get set for kickoff in Landmark Conference action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning into the Greyhound Sports Network, streaming live on Flow Sports. Landmark Conference football action on the bill this afternoon on a seasonably warm 77-degree Saturday as the Susquehanna University Riverhawks take on your Moravian University Greyhounds. I am LJ Smith. I will be calling the game for you this afternoon alongside me, Coach Tim Waite. How are you doing today, Coach?
Another great day in Bethlehem. Great day to be a Hound.
Very excited. Greyhounds back for the first time in nearly a month as Susquehanna, the 11th ranked team in the country, comes to Bethlehem and Rocco Calvo Field this afternoon. The Greyhounds 4-3 on the year, 3-0 in the Landmark Conference, giving them a 3-game win streak. Susquehanna 8-0 on the year, 4-0 in conference action so far. Tim, let's kind of recap what we've seen the past couple of weeks on the road, starting with the Greyhounds win over Catholic, 36-28.
Yeah, a little bit of a back-and-forth game to start, but Moravian went on a run where they scored on 5 consecutive possessions in that game to really kind of take over. The final score ended up being a little closer at the end of the 36-28 victory, but Catholic scored 2 late touchdowns to kind of bring that one a little closer. But Moravian really was in control for the vast majority of that game.
And then coming off of that, a much-needed bye week for the team to kind of regroup, kind of find where they're at so far this year and take that needed rest. But then back on the road with another road trip to Juniata, coming away with a 44-13 victory.
Yeah, and that was kind of a quintessential trap game for Moravian. They had a team that I think they were very confident in their ability to defeat. But in the back of all their minds, whether they want to admit it or not, I'm sure they were all looking forward to this week's game. And at the end of the first quarter, it was 13-8 Juniata. I think a little bit of a gut check time for everyone in that Moravian sideline early on, but then really just kind of things started going the way they thought they were going to go, and they rattled off 30-plus straight points to finish that game very strong.
And the last time that we've all seen the Greyhounds here at Rocco Calvo Field defeating Keystone in the first ever Landmark Conference game, 58-34, really saw the offense kind of sprout, and over 50 points scored in the second quarter of that game. So a lot of positives coming all the way through this week now. But a Susquehanna squad that's also been battle-tested. They came away with a 6-5 victory over Brockport in the second week of the season, and then took down number 10 SUNY Cortland 38-35.
And particularly in that second game against a top 10 team, they were down by 14 at one point in that game to Cortland, and came back and really showed that they are one of the best teams in the entire country.
And then starting with conference play, Susquehanna rattled off a 50-21 win over Catholic. Went on the road for 2 straight games, defeating Keystone 69-0 and Juniata 56-0, before last week taking down Wilkes at home 34-7. So a lot of firepower within this offense of Susquehanna.
Yeah, and I think kind of the biggest key today for Susquehanna is, as simple as it sounds, is just keep doing what you're doing. The formula is working. There's no reason to make any major changes in your offensive and defensive philosophies. You're ranked 11th in the country for a reason. So just stick to what is tried and true for your program. And Coach Perkovich has those guys. I'm sure they're ready to play today.
Absolutely. Coach Perkovich in his 9th season with the Riverhawks, 59-19 overall. The Greyhounds' first-year head coach, 4-3 on the year as the Greyhounds come across the field on their home field of Rocco Calvo Field. Set for a Landmark Conference matchup on Family Day. As we continue to talk about this, Greyhounds will start with the offense. Nate Boyle being named the Landmark Conference Offensive Player of the Week for his performance last week. Kind of doing it all. We've seen him convert extra points, 2-point conversions, and score touchdowns this year.
We've seen him throw for points as well. I mean, he literally is a jack of all trades back there. And you know, we were talking before the game off the air. Really a 3-headed monster for this Moravian offense in terms of production and accolades. Jenkins, the quarterback, Boyle, the running back, and Bingham, the wide receiver, have all been recognized throughout the season for their talents on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Jared Jenkins, a 2-time Offensive Player of the Week. Boyle this past week, and Bingham had one early in the season as well. the Greyhounds. Boyle also eclipsed the 2,000 career yard mark last week, so another milestone to add to his tutelage here with Moravian. The Greyhounds looking to kind of continue this trend. They're 4-3 on the year, facing some battle-tested teams as well as Muhlenberg and Utica, or playoff teams from a season ago. Now taking on a very talented Susquehanna squad that could be in a tier of their own, but in the Landmark having their way with teams today, the Greyhounds, how do you think they need to respond to action against this Riverhawk squad?
I think the biggest thing we need to see today is I anticipate Susquehanna coming out here and throwing their best punch early on, and I think Moravian is potentially going to need to absorb that initial blow. Moravian's obviously looked very good the last 3 weeks, but I don't think it's a stretch to say that this Susquehanna team is a lot different than those teams that they've been playing the last few weeks. So Susquehanna's punch is going to be a little different than the last few schools. So the way Moravian responds to that, there's a potential Moravian could get down early. It's not out of the realm of possibility here. So seeing them bounce back, try to put some drives together, and withstand that initial blow, I think is going to go a long way to determining the overall outcome of this game.
Talk a little bit about the series so far. It's the 49th meeting in the series between Susquehanna and Moravian. The Riverhawks lead the series 25-23-1 after a 37-3 victory in Selinsgrove last fall. Riverhawks won the last meeting at Rocco Calvo Field 44-0 in 2021. And in 2019, Susquehanna again earned a 31-7 victory. The Greyhounds' last win in the series was a 21-18 triumph in Selinsgrove back in 2018. So the Greyhounds really looking to right things on their home field on Family Day.
Yep, and I was on the sideline out at Selinsgrove when that game took over. And I'm actually going to kick it back to you here as we get the national anthem about to go here.
As we are about to hear the national anthem sung by Moravian student here, we'll get this here and join you back for kickoff.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we march, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the bombs bursting.
And another beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by Moravian's own student here.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing I do want to update the fans, there is one Landmark Conference game currently in progress up in northeastern PA. Catholic is visiting Keystone College, and Keystone is winning 14-7 with about 3 minutes left in the first half. That game kicked off at noon, so they're a little bit ahead of where we are. Lycoming versus Juniata up in near Williamsport is going to be kicking off right about the same time we are, so we'll keep you updated on those games throughout the broadcast.
Talk a little bit about Susquehanna's offense as we talked about the Greyhounds' offense now, Tim. Josh Ehrlich, the quarterback, 70% completion rate, throwing for 1,200 yards already this season. and 11 touchdowns, averaging 155 passing yards a game. Receiving, Kyle Howes, the main target, averaging over 80 yards a contest this season. And on the ground, Tommy Grabowski, 141 attempts for 769 yards, 756 net. And we'll see Coach Perk's offense out to start the game.
Yeah, this is actually the first game all season that Moravian is kicking off to start the game. They've received the opening kick every game so far this year until today.
So Avery Kozer is going to kick things off on Family Day. Landmark Conference football underway from Rocco Calvo Field. The Riverhawks make the grab around the 15-yard line and cutting up past the 30. He runs into his own player and brought down around the 35. That's number 9, wearing a new number this week, is Jeremiah Espinoza, switching from 55 to number 9, and he'll come up with a tackle to start off the game here.
They'll tell you that number's going to make him faster, too.
Absolutely.
That's how it works. The lower the number, the faster you run.
And we're already having a stoppage here. I believe the clock continued to run on the field, so we're going to get that corrected.
First home game in a while.
It's been close to a month since we've had a home contest.
Just working out the kinks.
That's all we're doing right now. As the Riverhawks offense, Josh Ehrlich, the sophomore out of Annapolis, Maryland, standing 6'1", 195, will be in the shotgun. Tommy Grabowski, DK Weich, the 2 deep running backs, Kyle Howes, Jacob Erb, Eddie Nugent, the core of wide receivers, and Rowan Hershey, Sean Yamada, the tight ends on the 2 deep. 3 rush up front, quick pass, middle of the field, caught by Kyle Howes and wrapped up immediately.
Yeah, one key thing we're going to need to see today, I talked to Coach Long before kickoff earlier today, and tackling. Tackling was the main emphasis that the defense was working on this week. You know, making sure that they're not giving up extra yards and things to such a potent offense. So great start. I mean, it's only one play, but good start to the game for the defense.
Ortolano makes the tackle for the Greyhounds. Coming in motion is Erb. Settles on the near side on the hash. 2 on the near side. Pass by Ehrlich, just too far beyond the extended hand of Jacob Erb, the senior out of Flemington, New Jersey. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for Susquehanna early. Ball on the 37-yard line. Rather young defense out there for the Greyhounds, but really coming into their own, as Coach Jeff Long in his first year alluded to in the pregame interview. A lot of new guys stepping up, young talent continuing to improve throughout the season. That's exactly what you want to see. Ball snap.
Man coverage here.
Ehrlich,
defense.
Forced out of the pocket. Ball deflected. Intercepted by the Greyhounds. Brought down. Interception. Greyhounds down at the 39. And capitalizing on an early error is exactly what the Greyhounds do, as the ball is intercepted by Clay Basile.
Great play, great initial coverage. I didn't catch the number of who was in coverage, but I mentioned they were in man. You saw when the motion went across by the offense that the DB followed him all the way across the field. So they were locked up, man on man, and the defender broke on that ball, tipped it up in the air, and great job by Basile being in the right place at the right time to come down with that interception.
Exactly what you want if you're the Greyhounds and Coach Jeff Long. In this first defensive stand, you come away with a takeaway. Now the Greyhounds on offense, Jenkins in the backfield, with Boyle and Tinajero being forced out of the pocket, running near side, tripped up in the back field, and it's going to be he's tackled by number 53, Steve Seibert, the sophomore out of Sewell, New Jersey.
Yep, and that's what we call a coverage sack. Jenkins had some time. There was nobody open downfield. He tried to make a play with his feet, try to lengthen that play out, but the front got home, and he wasn't able to get that ball off.
So a loss of 5 is going to bring up 2nd and 15. Nate Boyle, the offensive player of the week in the Landmark Conference, behind Jenkins. He'll grab a handoff and get about 3 yards to the 40-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 12 on the first offensive drive for Moravian.
One thing to keep an eye on for the next couple of plays, number 65, Leedy, came up a little gimpy after that play, was trying to work something out in his foot or ankle. So if Susquehanna saw that, maybe they bring a little blitz or something to his left tackle spot, see if they can try to take advantage of a guy that's hobbling a little bit out there.
Kozer and Brad Bryan on the far side, Jordan Bingham and Jordan Lewis on the near side. Bingham in motion to the far side, step back, looks to go deep in the air, ball over the top, and an interception at the 5-yard line. He's going to get down in the end zone.
And I think they're going to say his momentum took him into the end zone.
That's what it looks like now. So turnover for turnover, each squad changing it over, but still no official call as he caught the ball around the 5-yard line. So we'll see where they spot him here, Tim, because that could make a world of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, he never... It was pretty far away from the goal line.
All right, so the interception, they're going to say it occurred at the 4-yard line. Momentum carried it into the end zone as he took a knee. So Susquehanna will take over possession after an interception from Jared Jenkins. Now Susquehanna takes over on their own 4-yard line. The Greyhounds having an opportunity here to keep them pinned in their own zone.
Now, obviously, if you're a Moravian, you don't want to see a turnover. However, that was 3rd and long. Kind of works as a punt. You know, that's not a high percentage situation where you're getting a first down. So, you know, it's basically a really good punt is what we just saw.
Ehrlich with split backs, hands off around the 1-yard line, finds a hole, and being stopped by a wall of Greyhounds after a gain of about 2-yard lines. But we talked about that, being able to take a punch, and you felt that immediately if you're the Greyhounds defense. But standing their ground.
Yep, and one thing, it's only been we're only on the 2nd drive, and we didn't really get to talk about it pregame, but Ehrlich is a very good runner himself. We've seen a few running quarterbacks so far this season. Ehrlich is probably the best one so far. He has over 600 yards of rushing this season.
Fajardo on the near side. Rush taken by Tommy Grabowski. Brought down by Jeremy McGuigan. And that's a name that Coach Jeff Long has continued to continues to give credit to. He's been improving so much throughout the year, and he's kind of been one of those go-to guys on the defensive line now for Moravian.
You know, a lot of times defensive linemen don't accumulate a lot of stats. I mean, you know, everybody's heard of guys like Aaron Donald, but most people haven't heard of your average interior defensive lineman. But we're going to hear McGuigan's name a lot today.
Handoff once again to Grabowski. He's going to pick up the first down on 3rd and 2. So they'll move the changed ball. Is going to be up on the 18-yard line with 11 minutes to play in the first quarter. Both squads with an interception so far, so something to keep note of. Ball has yet to go past the 50-yard line on either side. So call it the 18, 1st and 10 for the Riverhawks. Ehrlich back with Grabowski.
All right, so here where defense is in a zone. Fajardo did not follow him across the field.
Taking time, scrambling near side, left side of the field. He's going to take it with his feet and forced out of bounds by number 96, Nate Carr, but not before a pickup of about 8 yards. Almost on cue, Tim, you talked about how he's able to make moves with his feet and doing so right there.
Yep, and I think we're going to see a combination of designed runs and just improvisation like that. So look for him to take advantage of any reads he sees based on the defense throughout the game as well.
So look to hand off, play action, pass, going to Rowan Hershey and picking up sizable yards and running over a Greyhound defender. Goes out of bounds around the 43-yard line. So I believe it was Ortolano that got in front of him there.
Yep, just a simple bootleg action, you know, fake to the running back, reverse spin out by the quarterback, and you have your tight end just sitting there in the flat. It's just a staple of West Coast offenses, and it's been in the playbook for decades for a reason.
Ehrlich with the lone back. Rowan Hershey, the tight end. On the end of the formation, 2 receivers to the left side. Pressure being forced out of the pocket. No flags yet as Ehrlich's going to run for another first down and then some, and travels out of bounds beyond the 40 of the Gray. They're going to mark him out at the 42, excuse me. So as the pocket collapses, Josh Ehrlich able to make a move on his own. Once again, back-to-back plays here. So another first down for the Riverhawks. Look over to the far sideline. Riverhawks in orange pants, white jerseys, white helmets. Greyhounds in white pants, blue jerseys, white helmets. Handoff. Staying on his feet is Grabowski and fumbling his way forward for about a gain of 7.
You know, one thing we didn't cover before the game is it's unseasonably warm today. So watching the stamina of some of these players and seeing how they react to almost 80-degree temperatures in late October, something that they're not used to, could be a factor for some of these guys and trying to keep them fresh.
Absolutely. 78 degrees currently here in Bethlehem on October 28th, which is unheard of. Rush going to Tommy Grabowski, but wrapped up by a couple of Greyhounds, and it's going to be number 30, Demir Rooker, and Nate Carr as well, credited for the tackle.
This is probably 2-down territory for Susquehanna based on where they are on the field, inside the 35. So if they don't get a first down here, expect them to keep the offense on the field, barring any sort of big sack or something like that to make it a long situation.
3rd and 2 from the 34. Ehrlich has a man in motion in Kyle Howes. He's going to try to extend it, but it looks to be short of the first down marker. So it's going to be 4th and inches as Basile gets credit for the tackle, stopping him short. Looking to make a change of receivers here, as Chris Buchter, the senior from Columbia, Maryland, out on the field, and the tight end Hershey back as well, bringing on E.J. Harvey to the line as well. There's 9 seconds on the play clock. We'll see what Susquehanna elects to do on 4th and 1. Ball snapped, handoff. Is he going to get there? They're going to give him it by maybe a yard and a half. So Tommy Grabowski, in that scenario, able to garner a first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 30. And 6.5 minutes to play in the first, so taking their time on this drive. As the play clock's under 10 once again, 7 on the clock. Ehrlich awaits the snap, gets it high, but hands it off once again to Grabowski, and wrapped up by a couple of Greyhounds.
And if I'm Ehrlich, some of those outside linebackers and defensive end are crashing very hard on some of these handoffs. Don't be surprised to see him pull that ball and keep it on a run play sometime soon.
Coming back on the field is E.J. Harvey. It seems to be a little bit of confusion here, but back and forth. Rooker on the field as well as Shea Endine. 3 receivers to the far side, right side of the field. Ball snap, Ehrlich looks left. Going deep, overthrowing Rowan Hershey, the junior tight end out of Landenberg. And that's going to bring up 3rd and medium, about 6 yards from the 26.
And perfect coverage by Johnson, number 2. There was nowhere for Hershey to go to try to catch that ball. He was blanketed.
We'll make it 3rd and 6 for Riverhawks.
So see what the Greyhounds defense can do. Ball on the 26, 3rd and 6. Ehrlich has a man in motion in Howes. A jet sweep outside is going to be good enough for a first down. by Howes as he was the one running in motion.
Early shoulder pass to Kyle Howes, goes right end. 4A Susquehanna.
And now it's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 20. Got just enough yardage there and turning the corner before being forced out of bounds.
We're seeing a very patient, methodical drive by Susquehanna. You know, they're not looking for the big play. They're just looking to stay on rhythm, 3 to 5 yards per play, get a lot of first downs that way.
High snap, eventually corralled, but Grabowski finds a hole, sidesteps one defender, meets another, and Basile plants him into the turf, but not before another Riverhawk first down is going to make it 1st and goal inside the red zone. And there's a player down for,
I think that might be Johnson.
The Greyhounds. It is Johnson. Johnson, the junior, out of Hillside, New Jersey. He's off under his own power. 4:48 remaining in the first quarter. You mentioned it, Tim, a very methodical pace by this Riverhawks offense coming down the field. And that first turnover, that interception, for the Greyhounds, thinking you have momentum and then turning the ball over yourself. And now numerous plays, over 6 minutes of action now with Susquehanna with the ball in this first quarter, just moving the ball down the field.
Yep, and this is what Susquehanna does. I mean, they kind of smother you a little bit. We've seen some scores, 60-something to nothing, 50-something to nothing. So this is an offense that is capable of putting up big points. But here they're showing not just big playability, but just the patience to just move down the field and make those easy incremental plays.
Hershey motion to the far side as Grabowski gets the handoff, and he'll be brought down inside the 5, call it the 3-yard line to bring up 2nd and goal. And note Eli Cantor, the junior center for Susquehanna, a couple snaps a little higher to the right, something to keep an eye on moving forward as Ehrlich has had to make a couple nice plays behind center in the shotgun. 15 plays for 93 yards so far for Susquehanna, as they have 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. As they look to punch it in, handoff, downed inside the 1-yard line as Tommy Grabowski's brought down.
Obviously, we don't have a great angle down the goal line from here, but man, I thought that was in.
Grabowski takes the ball down to the 1-yard line, stopped by number 92, E.J. Harvey, and number 98,
Prince Sakpo and E.J. Harvey credited for it, and it looks the play, no sign just yet, but the rush in is a touchdown, Susquehanna.
I always wonder what kind of takes them so long. They need to run all the way in to see where that ball was. I don't know. That's just me.
So Josh Ehrlich, the quarterback, keeps it himself, rushing in for the touchdown, putting Susquehanna on the board 6-0. The point after attempt coming now.
Number 16, Christian Colasurdo.
Colasurdo on for the point after. Snap. It's faked. Pitch is out wide. Can he get in? Not down yet. Looks to pass it. He's going to be brought down eventually, so they tried to do a fake point after attempt, and it backfires, so the Greyhounds snuff it out, and the score is 6-0 with 3:17 to play. Tim, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they're trying to land, a big punch right away and try to get them Moravian on its heels with an 8-0 lead, and didn't quite go the way they wanted. Great job by Moravian of staying, home and understanding their defensive assignments and making a play when they needed to. I'm curious if there was an illegal lateral in there that should maybe result in a penalty yardage on the return here for Moravian. I think Coach Long is asking the same thing. But, I think Moravian will just take the stop and not be too upset, but wouldn't be surprised if we saw a replay of that if there was something fishy on that play.
Yes, Coach Long still talking to the head referee as Susquehanna's getting ready to kick off from the 35-yard line.
I mean, in a game like this against the number 11 team in the country, you're looking for every advantage you can, and if that's 5 yards on a kickoff return, you want it,
Absolutely.
quite frankly. So
that drive for Susquehanna, 17 plays, 96 yards, eating up 9 minutes and 14 seconds of the play clock. So 3:17 remaining in the first quarter. It's just 6-0. The quarterback keeper by Josh Ehrlich from the 1-yard line, and looking to go for 2 fails as the Greyhounds get set now.
And now I'm going to say something pretty obvious here, but if you're Moravian, you need to put some first downs together. A 17-play drive for your defense, they can't come back out on the field too soon.
Too soon, correct. That ball's going to be caught at the 1-yard line. Going to the middle of the field, but being wrapped up is Nick Cafaro. And he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. So the Greyhounds will take over. Jared Jenkins, Nate Boyle, and the offense for Moravian will return to the field. 3:11 to play in the first quarter. Susquehanna, the 11th-ranked Riverhawks, leading 6-0 over the Greyhounds on Family Day.
I thought Susquehanna was very aggressive on defense, bringing blitzers in the first drive. That resulted in an interception, so let's see if they do the same thing here.
Second offensive drive for Moravian. Jenkins with time in the pocket, finds an open receiver and drops down at the 35-yard line. Nice play, Tim Garlick with the reception and a big first down.
Well, this offense goes as Jared Jenkins goes. That's no surprise for anyone that's been watching Moravian football this season. And if he has time in the pocket and is able to get through his progression, it's going to be a good day for the offense.
21-yard reception for Garlick and a rush by Boyle. It's going to be good for about 6 yards.
5 yards.
5 yards, excuse me. Ball at the 41.
Second down for the Hounds.
Kozer is moving to the far side. Bryan's there, Jordan Bingham, Jordan Lewis, the near side receivers, the right side of the field. Ball snap, Jenkins steps up into the pocket, tries to go sideline. Unable to make the play as the ball is thrown behind Brad Bryan. Still makes a quality attempt to try to bring that ball in, but unable to do so is going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Yep, and that was an intentional back shoulder throw. The cornerback showed man press coverage late during the cadence, came right up on the receiver. So Jenkins purposely threw that ball behind him to try to get him to create kind of some natural separation due to the underthrown ball.
Split back Boyle Tinajero with Jenkins in the shotgun. Rolls out to the right, finding Lewis. Hits him. He's beyond the first down marker at the 47-yard line. That's going to be a first down Moravian with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the first quarter as Jordan Lewis gets a reception.
And every first down is just more time for that defense to stay off their feet, get some liquids. We mentioned the heat today. Ooh, something looked wrong there.
Start.
I think that might have been on the center.
Flag going against number 78, Dalton Kutcher, the junior from Quakertown. And that's going to cost the Greyhounds.
They need to move that ball, and they are.
Okay, there we go. It was almost a 6-yard penalty there.
Move the ball 6 yards instead of 5.
So 1st and 15 after the false start against Kutcher. And no whistle here.
He got back. I know fans want it, but
Boyle cuts inside, bounces off 1, maybe 2 tacklers before brought down. Gain of 3 yards, maybe 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Greyhounds.
For fans and people watching at home, if a defensive player jumps but does not make contact and is able to get back to his position onside, there's not a penalty.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like it's a penalty, but it's not.
2 receivers on each side. Boyle the lone back with Jenkins in the shotgun. About 1 minute to play. Play clock at 7 seconds. Jenkins gets the snap. Quick throw to Lewis. Evades one and forced out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Ball's on the opposite 49 now. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 yards. Maybe 8. 3rd and 8 from the 50.
And that's the big problem with penalties, is it just puts you behind schedule. 3rd and 8, maybe it's really 3rd and 3, and that's a very manageable. Every coach in America will take a 3rd and 3. They don't want 3rd and 8s.
6 on the play clock. Split back to Najero Boyle. They got to get the ball snapped. 2 seconds now. Jenkins gets it, rolls to the far side, has a man open, and Bingham throws it short, unable to make the grab, but a flag is thrown at the 21-yard line. As you can hear it from the fans in the stands, that's going to be pass interference against the defense in coverage. So the flag being thrown against number 1, Keith Green III, the grad student from Edgewood, Maryland, gets called for the flag. It's going to be a first down, Moravian, and keeping the drive alive once again for the Greyhounds.
Obviously, the home crowd is happy to see that, but in Susquehanna's defense, that's an underthrown ball. A defensive back, he's in a tough spot when that receiver plants to try to come back to the underthrown ball. The DB's momentum takes him right into that receiver and impedes his ability to come back. It is a penalty, but not a lot the DB can do there. I mean, it's just a bad, just bad luck more than anything.
And the ball was floated. Bingham, if the ball was led to Bingham, he would have been in the end zone.
There's a chance. He did have a step on him, but at least they got bailed out a little bit by that penalty.
So 16 seconds remain in the first quarter. Greyhounds have the ball at the 35-yard line. Jenkins, pressure, feels it, gets a hold of the face mask. No flag. He's going to roll out himself and run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So a couple of things could have happened there. That would have been flags. A little bit of the face mask. Boyle trying to get a block on the sideline, and Coach Jeff Long's asking the same question as well here as clock continues to run. And it looks to be the last play of the first quarter. And it is. So at the end of the first quarter on Family Day, the Greyhounds trailing number 11, Susquehanna University 6-0.
And I think if you're Coach Long, you have to be feeling pretty good, honestly. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. This is an offense from Susquehanna that's put up 50 points, 60 points in multiple games this year. 6-0 after 1. That's a good spot.
Good spot to be, especially with both teams having a turnover so far on the contest. Susquehanna, their methodical drive down the field and using over 9 minutes of the clock and running 17 plays, resulting in just 6 points. That's definitely a small victory for the Greyhounds. This drive for them, using 3 minutes, 11 seconds, 7 plays already, and that help of the penalty, pass interference, giving them an automatic first down is definitely something to note as well.
Yeah, and the big thing is they've held the ball. They've kept the defense off the field after a 9-minute drive. So getting these first downs, getting them to the quarter, getting that extra 2 or 3 minute break to stay off their feet, that's huge by the offense.
Couple stats from the first quarter before we start. Ehrlich, 3 of 6 for 25 yards and an interception. Jared Jenkins, 3 for 5 with 31 yards and an interception. Tommy Grabowski, 10 rushing attempts for 48 yards. His longest is 11. As we get set to start the second quarter, Jenkins hands it off. Boyle's met in the backfield. One of the first times we haven't seen him break away off the first touch. And it's going to be a loss of maybe 1 yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 from the 30.
Well, I've mentioned a couple times that the offense is putting up 50 and 60 points a game. It should not be ignored that the defense was shutting those teams out, too.
Absolutely.
This is a very strong defensive unit. We see Boyle break lots of tackles. These tacklers are maybe a little different than some of the ones he's seen the last few weeks.
Jenkins evades, feeling pressure, kind of floats the ball up, lobs it. And it's going to be caught, intercepted. I thought Brad Bryan brought it in, but almost had to be in a defensive standpoint there to knock the ball away from another interception inside the 5-yard line.
I believe that DB had control of the ball on the way to the ground, but I don't know if Bryan ripped it out or if the ground caused it. Fortunate for Moravian, he did not maintain control of that interception all the way to the ground. Questionable decision there by Jenkins. I know he's been able to get away with a lot of things this year. He has the talent to get away with a lot of things. That one was probably not a smart decision.
4th and medium pass going to Garlick. Is he able to get the first down?
He got a flag on the field
But there's a flag
as well.
on the far sideline.
The fact that they let that play continue means
it should be on the defense.
It's potentially on the defense.
And well, let's get the call from the head official here. Head referee.
Moravian's receiver doesn't look very happy, so maybe not. Brad Bryan looked a little exasperated with the officials, so.
Yeah, him and the rest of the offensive line now walking towards the sideline, but still no official call on the field. We'll wait to hear from the head referee. But that last play you stated, Jenkins kind of floating the ball up.
We've seen him have some really positive, borderline lucky outcomes on some of those throws this season. Throws that when he lets it go, you say to yourself, no.
Yeah.
But then they ultimately work out. That one was very close to not working out.
Yes. As Brad Bryan almost in a defensive standpoint there to make it happen. Still conversation going on now.
It's a staple of officiating, I think.
And you can see the one official at midfield with the ball looking to walk back a couple of yards. So encroachment going against the aforementioned Brad Bryan, the senior out of Quakertown. So 4th and 5, 4th and 6 is going to bring up 4th and 11 now after that penalty. So we'll see.
Yep, this is, but you're inside the 40.
Yep.
You know, so. I mean, this is an obvious one, but if you've watched Moravian this year, you're looking for number 81. I think Jordan Bingham is. Susquehanna is probably aware of that. Look for some double teams on him on this route.
Jordan Lewis, the lone receiver on the near side of the field. Bingham and Bryan, he'll get the ball, and he's kind of harassed out of bounds. A little extra pressure on that in front of the Susquehanna bench. It's going to bring up a turnover of downs. So it's going to give Susquehanna the ball around the 34-yard line. So 13:48 remaining in the second quarter. The score 6-0. Susquehanna leading the Greyhounds on Family Day. Time of possession 3 minutes. 11 seconds, traveling 51 yards on 10 plays. Susquehanna now with their third possession of the game. Josh Ehrlich gets the snap. He'll hand it off to Grabowski, doing majority of the work. Breaks through, has only one to beat. He's going to be brought down by Aiden Lane.
Oh, Moravian's indicate, maybe not. Moravian was indicating maybe a fumble there, but oh.
I'm not exactly sure.
I'm not sure why Moravian fans are cheering, because
I think they thought it was a fumble. They're just waving the chain gang down, so that's just a big gain for Susquehanna.
Yeah, the official was waving to move the chains, not to indicate a turnover.
So a big gain brings up 1st and 10 from the Greyhounds 38, and another handoff right back to Grabowski. He's wrapped up, finally getting a hand on him about 2 yards into it, but he'll fall forward for about a gain of 5. 29-yard rush.
This zone read offensive football has been around for over 15 years at this point, and if run well, it is still just so hard to defend. You isolate that defender, you force him to pick one person to try to tackle, you give it to the other guy or keep it yourself. If run well, it's impossible to stop.
Pass blocked down from the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Basile. In correction, the last two running plays were not by Tommy Grabowski. It's from Matt Sertz, the first year from Robbinsville, New Jersey. So Eddie Nugent, Kyle Howes, and Jacob Erb on the field. And that's still Sertz in the backfield with Ehrlich. 12:29 on the clock. 3rd and 4 from the 31-yard line.
Big play for the defense here, but could be 4-down territory again.
Little screen pass. Can he get away? Sertz is going to run through and gain more than enough yards. Will be brought down around the 22-yard line. Good enough for another Susquehanna first down.
He might be a freshman. He's 6'1", 215. He's a big boy.
He's making his presence known so far in the second quarter.
He's, I think, guys that size, they fall forward more often than not. So,
absolutely. Lone back is Sertz one more time. Ehrlich awaits the snap, but they'll look over to the sideline with 12 on the play clock.
We didn't get any kind of indication pregame that the usual backup Weich was out or anything, but they've gone to Sertz.
Little pitch forward. It's going to be brought down by number 30, Demir Rooker, as he wraps up Kyle Howes, limiting him to a gain of about 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 coming. So using up the clock again, seeming to be one of their motives here for the Riverhawks. 11 minutes, 17 seconds to play. Lone back is Sertz. Ehrlich has a man in Hershey in motion, going to the near side. Ball is snapped. He'll hand off to Sertz. Has a hole. He'll get wrapped up by number 43, Drew Bailey, the Conshohocken native, the junior. Able to bring him down, but not before a gain of 4 more yards. 3rd and 4. Now inside the red zone. Ball at the 16. Look over to the sideline one more time.
For anybody watching at home, Grabowski, the starting running back, looks fine, standing on the sideline. I think they're just giving him a regular breather.
Sertz to the near side. See a screenplay, a little slant play, and running towards the end zone. He's going to be brought down just shy. And that was Eddie Nugent, the senior out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. Picks up a first down, but brought down just shy of the goal line. So 1st and less than a yard for the Riverhawks, as we now have under 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. The score 6-0. Riverhawks scored from a yard out before with Ehrlich, but instead of being under center, he's in the gun. Handoff to Sertz. I don't think he got in. He's going to be stopped short one more time, but on the tackle this time is junior Chad Newhard, who was started the season with an injury, starting to see some more time in the lineup here, Tim.
Yeah, and I always, I know I'm going to sound like the get off my lawn grumpy old man, but I always get a little confused when I see you're 6 inches away from the goal line and you put the ball carrier 7 yards deep away from that goal line. Just call me old-fashioned, but why move so far back if you're trying to get 6 inches forward?
And we'll see the same thing again. Sertz instead near side. He's on far side, the left side of the field. Ehrlich gets the snap. He'll hand it off. Sertz rushes this time, but he'll break the plane, and it'll be touchdown Susquehanna.
Sertz the ball carrier up the middle.
The 11th ranked Riverhawks get in the end zone for the second time this afternoon, increasing the score to 12-0. We'll see if they elect to bring out the kick squad one more time for the point after attempt.
I think we'll see a conventional extra point here after the way the first one went.
Colasirdo out to kick. Eddie Nugent to hold. Ball is snapped. Kick is up. And good. So that makes the score 13-0 Susquehanna. 8:54 to play in the second quarter. That drive ends in a touchdown. 4 minutes, 54 seconds, traveling 66 yards and 9 plays.
Yeah, we did see one kind of nice big chunk run to start that drive off, but overall it was another methodical 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. Just let's stay on rhythm, let's stay on time. Keep putting yourselves in third and short situations, which is what every coaching staff on offense is looking for. I mentioned pregame. I think we're now at the point where that punch has been thrown by Susquehanna. It's a 2-possession game now. We've seen Moravian move the ball. Some of the drives didn't end the way they wanted, but now is where they got to respond. I mean, quite frankly, it's a 13-0 game. Moravian has to throw their punch now.
Bingham, Cafaro, and Bryan deep for the Greyhounds. Susquehanna 11 first downs so far to the Greyhounds 3. One of them coming from the penalty pass interference. Third down efficiency 50%, 2 of 4 for Moravian. Susquehanna 5 of 7. Cafaro grabs it. He's going to absorb some contact. Still not down. Looking to rush forward. He's going to get down to the 20, and a flag late here. Coming from the back sideline. Official.
This is going to be interesting because the flag was thrown because 2 players were having some extracurriculars, but those 2 players then hugged each other in a show of sportsmanship and potentially friendship. You never know if they were teammates in high school, something like that. So whoever gets called for this penalty, I don't think there was any
malicious.
I mean, they look like friends, to be totally honest, and they still throw a flag on it. So.
And Coach Long's hands are up like out of confusion, not sure exactly what's going on here. So once again, discussing the flag.
I mean, hopefully maybe they throw offset. They say offsetting and kind of clear the slate, but that did not look like a malicious. Oh, well, that's different. All right, so for those that couldn't hear, that was a chop block. That's a legitimate in-play penalty.
Yep.
So I take it back. I thought maybe the way it was thrown, it looked like it was for some extracurricular stuff, but that is a legitimate penalty. So I didn't see it, but.
So Cafaro got the ball to the 20. That penalty puts him half a distance to the goal. So the Greyhounds offense comes out 8:46 on the game clock. 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Kozer in motion. Jenkins gets the snap, hands off to Boyle, untouched, getting in the backfield. By number 62.
I believe that was 52, Jesse
52,
Roosh.
Excuse me, Jesse Roosh, the Fogelsville, PA native.
Probably excited to make that play back home in front of a lot of friends and family. Parkland product.
So 2nd and 11, a loss of 1 on that tackle as Boyle's going to stumble forward, and a great run to turn nothing into something, and that something's going to be about a gain of 7 yards.
And going back to the first down play, the tackle by Roosh, we had a saying, a lot of coaches have sayings, unblocked players must make plays. He was, nobody touched him on the offensive line or anything, and he has to make that play. He did. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, but, unblocked players must make plays.
He was also credited for the tackle on the last play as well. Roosh, the 6'2", 200-pound sophomore, as Jenkins looks to run up the middle and gets hit hard.
I'm sure the team and coaches appreciate him selling out for that first down, but they also probably don't appreciate seeing him sell out for that first down. He took a pretty big hit there.
He did, but making the right decision, cutting up the field when he did, allowed him to get that first down.
Yeah, there was no hesitation, which is probably what led him to be able to actually convert that first down. If he sits there and tries to scramble.
Coach Long pretty upset with the no call as Jenkins snaps the ball, rushing to the near side. Missed tackle in the backfield. He's going to have to get rid of it or absorb a hit. He's going to be forced out of bounds by Roosh. And Roosh with 2 tackles and a force out now as Jenkins scrambles and eventually gains about 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 coming, ball at the 25-yard line. And Coach Long still pretty heated. He's needing to be pulled back from his assistant coach as he's still having his way with the official on the sideline with that hit to Jenkins. 2nd and 7, Jenkins looks over the top. Bingham unable to make the grab. Thought there was going to be a flag there as the official looked to reach for his side, but no flag on the play as Bingham unable to make the grab. Does go off the fingertips, but did seem to pull up just enough to slow him down, put him out of reach.
Yeah, that's one where, easier said than done. I never played receiver myself, but, I think he was so caught up in some of the hand fighting and stuff like that if he had just kind of run, he might have been able to run underneath that. Instead, he's kind of jockeying with the DB and doing that stuff. And, again, I was never a receiver myself, but...
Brian Mong in motion, ball snapped. 3rd and 7, Jenkins running out wide, has Bingham wide open. First down, Greyhounds. Ball going to be spotted at the 38-yard line, and we've heard Bingham's name, but not for a catch yet, so it's nice to get him in the stat sheet. And what a time to get it done as well, as it's 1st and 10 from the 38. 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Susquehanna leading 13-0. Split backs, Tinajero and Boyle. Boyle gets the handoff, hesitates, works his way up towards the 45, call it the 44. It'll be a gain of 6.
This offense runs through Jenkins. However, Nate Boyle is option 1A, if you will. I mean, he is so vital to what this team does, getting them in manageable downs. I know I beat it to death, but staying on rhythm, getting those 3 to 4 yards per play, that is key, and the run game is what allows you to do that.
Boyle is going to make his 8th attempt. This time he's going to lose about 2 yards. Before that, it was 7 attempts, 23 yards. So it doesn't seem like that big of a number, but he's turning little to no gains into 4 to 6 yard gains. This time, just a 2-yard loss. Parson, out of Bear, Delaware, makes the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 7 from the 44. Excuse me, the 42.
You look for just a simple choice route, something right at the sticks for some of those slot receivers.
Has time in the pocket. Hits Bingham, and they're going to be just beyond the first down. So 2nd reception of this drive for Bingham is going to result in 2 first downs. So back-to-back first downs for the Greyhounds as they're going to start slowly moving the ball up the field. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to play. A whistle and a timeout taken by Susquehanna and Coach Perkovich.
Now, something, if you're watching on the play, something was wrong with the formation, and I really like what I'm seeing out of Jared Jenkins. He's holding his teammates accountable. He went right over to the wide receivers and was demonstrably indicating that they were not where they should have been, and the reason they had to call this timeout was because of it. So, like to see that leadership and holding his teammates accountable.
Yeah, definitely something like you heard in the pregame interview, Jared Jenkins, Nate Boyle in the pregame interview with Coach Jeff Long, and talking about what this game means for Moravian.
Yes, they're on a 3-game win streak. Yes, this game has a lot of implications moving forward, but it's not only just a big game, it's a Susquehanna game. This game means something. So Jared Jenkins even told me as well, this means so much more to this group than we would know, and he's making his wide receiver core know that right now.
Yeah, and I'll say that from my time as a coach here and things, I've been around this program for roughly 15 years, off and on. A lot of the older alums, they'll probably not be happy to hear me say this, but historically Muhlenberg is our rival with the geography and everything. But for the last 10 to 15 years, this Susquehanna game is the one you circle on the calendar.
Hand off to Nate Boyle on the 1st and 10, bounces off one as Roosh unable to make the grab, but forced out of bounds by Brian Layton, the sophomore from Springfield. As that's what we're used to seeing. Boyle bounce off the first defender and having someone else have to make a tackle, and Roosh felt all of Nate Boyle on that one. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9, ball at midfield. Jenkins rolling to the near side. In open is Mong. He'll run forward, get knocked down. 2 yards shy of the first down. Call it 3rd and 2. So now things starting to find a rhythm with this Greyhounds offense. We'll see what Jenkins and the squad can elect to do. It's, I believe, the 4th or 5th different receiver that he's been able to hit, the 5th receiver now. Getting through Boyle, and a gain of about 5 yards where it should have only been about 1. So something we continue to see from Nate Boyle. He's the workhorse of this offense right now. And looking to move quickly are the Greyhounds. Just 31 seconds on the play clock when that ball snapped, and Boyle finds a hole up the middle. Is going to be eventually dropped down by, I believe, number 50, Cam Noble, the grad student from Maryland.
And I like what I'm seeing from Moravian's offense in terms of getting Jenkins on the move. A lot of his passes have been rollouts, bootlegs, things like that. This is a very talented front 7 for Susquehanna. Having him just sit there like a statue in the pocket may not be the best.
Boyle hesitates with the handoff. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but drop back down.
Handoff to Boyle up the middle again.
So it'll be about a gain of maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Makes it 3rd down for the Hounds.
Brian Layton credited for the tackle. It's 3rd and 3 from the 32. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first half. 13-0 Susquehanna.
Let's see if they roll him out. Try to throw just a quick.
Perfect pass on the money, as that's going to be Tim Garlick. Good enough for a Greyhound first down. 2 minutes, 6 seconds remain. Tinajero, the back, as Boyle's on the sideline. Garlick, Bryan, and Bingham.
Do we have a timeout by Susquehanna?
First down for the Hounds.
Don't exactly know what the stoppage was for, because if the clock wasn't supposed to run, there should be 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock.
I mean, first down was indicated right away. They moved the chains and everything. Not sure why there's a confusion.
That's pretty frustrating. You lose about 7 or 8 seconds then if they don't reset the clock, which they did not. So the clock continues to roll. 1 minute, 45 seconds. Jenkins hands off to Tinajero. Up the middle he goes. Unable to be brought down with the first tackle, but gain of about 3 or 4 yards, we'll call it. Bring up 2nd and 6 with 1:32 to play. Greyhounds with all 3 timeouts. Susquehanna with just 2. And the clock continues to roll.
So does that mean the timeout earlier was taken by Susquehanna?
It was,
oh.
Yeah.
I assume because of the formation.
Looking deep in the end zone, Bingham catches it! Waiting for the signal. Stopped at the 1-yard line. The 1-yard line, but nonetheless, what a grab by Jordan Bingham. Coming up with a big play. Ball at the 1-yard line. 1 minute, 11 seconds to play in the first half. Jenkins there But now the Greyhounds are energized. Coach Long calling for some energy. Boyle is fired up, and Bingham with a great catch. And I believe a timeout coming from Susquehanna, so their second of the half. And Greyhounds have the ball at the 1. What an incredible grab by Jordan Bingham. 4 catches just in this drive alone.
Great catch. I do have to be that guy and try to be somewhat impartial here. I think he got away with what I would call a pretty blatant push-off.
Okay.
He created a fair amount of separation right at the end of that play. I'm not complaining, but if we have any Susquehanna fans listening to the broadcast, they're probably throwing stuff at their TV.
Absolutely. It's little things like that that can make the entire difference of a game. Momentum right now with the Greyhounds as Susquehanna back on their 1-yard line. Greyhounds.
So they're going empty here. A lot of times we'll see Boyle return to the backfield from this formation.
So we got Lewis left side. Boyle's going to move back behind. Ball is snapped. Handoff. Met. Might even be a loss of a yard or 2.
Yeah, I mean, Susquehanna sold out. They kind of assumed what was going to happen there with the Boyle run and took their chances, and they were right.
So clock continues to run. We're under a minute to play. 55 seconds. Kozer's going to come in. Garlick steps out. Jenkins and Boyle there looking back. Letting the clock wind down. Jenkins, Boyle one more time is going to come behind. 3 wide receivers on the far side of the field. Boyle, he's going high in the end zone, goes off the goalpost. Jordan Bingham makes the catch off the goalpost. Fortunately, that doesn't do much of anything here. So stopping the clock with 26 seconds to play. 3rd and goal from the 4, excuse me.
They got a good matchup with I believe that was Kozer running with a linebacker covering him. I was looking at the routes, not the protection.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was under pressure, but if possible, if he had let that play develop a little longer, Kozer's going to run away from a linebacker.
So split back, Tinajero and Boyle with Jenkins, Bingham, and Bryan on the far side. Handoff, Boyle goes up the middle. They're going to mark him just short one more time.
Looked like a good spot from where Boyle got up.
Didn't exactly hear what the head referee said here. But
number 0 had to leave because his helmet came off.
Okay.
For Susquehanna's defense.
So 4th and goal from the 1, 19 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure if there was a timeout called or whatnot because we haven't seen it notified yet.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Long is talking to some officials, so is Coach Perk on his side. As usual, not quite sure what's happening.
So both refs are talking to both sides. We're still waiting for an answer. The clock has not continued to roll. So they're going to let it start. I don't think they want to give Susquehanna any time to have possession here before the end of the half. But you're going to sell out on 4th and goal here.
I wouldn't be surprised if the whistle blows, the clock runs, and then Moravian takes a timeout with 3 or 4 seconds left.
Or if you're Coach Perk, you call a timeout and force 9 seconds on the clock.
Susquehanna will not use their timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. It will start on my signal.
So I would expect Coach Long to take a timeout here after 4 or 5 seconds come off the clock.
Now we'll take the timeout. Exactly that mind game of Coach Perk knowing exactly what he was going to do. Not burn the timeout with 9 seconds, but have him call a timeout with 6, kind of winning that.
Well, it looked like Coach Perk actually did take that timeout.
Yeah. No, I believe he did.
Yep.
So he wanted the clock to start and still leave some semblance of time. If Coach Long's going to call a timeout with 2 or 3 seconds left, That's going to leave a couple of seconds on the clock if they don't get it, depending where they're at here. If they don't get it, they're on their 1. They're going to kneel or they're going to go for a run play.
And if Moravian does get it, I believe, I was looking at some notes before the game, I believe Susquehanna has a couple return touchdowns this year. So maybe he's thinking, if they do score, still got a chance to put some points on the board with a return.
That's very fair. That's very fair. But a lot of mind games being played on both sidelines here. And Coach Perk in his 9th year, very successful program, as they're currently 11th in the country, leading the Greyhounds 13-0, as the Riverhawks defense pitching a couple shutouts so far this season already. It's Moravian on the 1-yard line.
What do you call here, LJ?
I mean, I'm thinking Susquehanna's going to sell out up the middle. I don't know if you try to get Boyle through there again, if you kind of run motion to the side. Because Kozer was open. Like if that play had another second, Kozer would have been available. I don't know if you risk a passing play here.
Yeah, I'd like to see them under center, if I'm being honest, and you only need 6 yards.
Ball snap. Jenkins up the middle.
Nope.
Does he get it? He's fighting
forward.
for it.
He fell forward.
And they're going to say he's down short of the goal line. And Susquehanna's defense comes up with a stop. Jenkins running all the way, but you're starting with a shotgun. You're 6 yards out of the end zone from the 1-yard line.
You know, and Moravian is not the only team that, tons of teams. We saw Susquehanna do it earlier.
Absolutely.
It's just the way football is played now from the shotgun. You look like a dinosaur sometimes if you're under center, but you only need 6 inches.
Yeah.
I don't, philosophically, I don't agree with being in the shotgun when you need 6 inches.
So just a bum rush forward just to gain a yard, and that'll end the first half. Susquehanna leading Moravian 13-0 at halftime. The 11th-ranked Riverhawks getting 2 touchdowns on methodical drives down the field. The Greyhounds having an opportunity or two to knock on the door, unable to get in on the doorstep. But we still have a whole another half of football to be played here.
And remember, Moravian receives the opening kickoff in the second half, which, and you hate to lament it, but if you put points on the board on this drive they just had, then they get the ball to start the second half. You're feeling, really good about things. I still think overall Moravian's locker room should be positive.
Absolutely.
I mean, you never want to be negative, obviously.
Correct.
But
2-possession game.
It's a 13-point game against roughly a top 10 team in the entire country. There's no need to panic if you're in the locker room. If you're the coaches, you're telling them that we're right in this.
100%. 100%. As it's halftime here on Family Day, the Greyhound Marching Band about to take the field. We'll step aside briefly for that. But before they take the field, we'll talk about the 1993 team recognition that's taking place after this that you will see right here on the Greyhound Sports Network on Flow Sports. Greyhounds 1993 team will honor the members on the 30th anniversary of their NCAA Division III playoff appearance. The Hounds, led by Hall of Famer Coach Scott Dapp, posted an 8-3 record on the season, winning the MAC Commonwealth League with a mark of 5-1, making the NCAAs for the second time in 5 years. Moravian started the season with a 2-2 mark before winning 6 straight games, including a 24-14 victory over Muhlenberg College to finish off the regular season. The Greyhounds traveled to Washington and Jefferson College for their NCAA playoff game, falling to the Presidents 27-7. That team will be honored, members in attendance, and remembering those who aren't able to be here as well. That'll be brought to you after performances from the cheerleaders and the Greyhound Marching Band. We'll step aside. LJ Smith and Coach Tim Waite will rejoin you for the start of the second half.
by Elvis Presley. The melody concludes with Jailhouse Rock, which was number 67 on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest songs of all time. This selection is in collaboration with the Moravian University cheerleaders. Please welcome them to the field as well. This song has been broadcast over 3 million times and is considered one of the greatest rock songs of all time. We present Stairway to Heaven.
Are you ready to elevate or even change your career? Ready to explore a graduate degree program, but not sure where to start? With online and on-campus programs that are flexible and affordable, Moravian University has the degrees and specialized certificates to help you reach your goals. Moravian's team of student experience mentors are dedicated to each student's success and will support your experience going back to school every step of the way. From application to graduation, Moravian University. Your degree, your way.
Let's hear once again for the Greyhound Marching Band. This year's drum major, Nick Mancini, drum and pit instructors, Chris Garino, and the Moravian University Greyhound Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Joanne Weischek. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Moravian University would like to honor the members of the 1993 football team as the Greyhounds celebrate the 30th anniversary of the program's birth into the NCAA Division III playoffs. The Hounds, led by Hall of Fame coach Scott Daff, posted an 8-3 record on the season in 1993, winning the MAC Commonwealth League with a 5-1 mark and making the NCAAs for the second time in 5 years. Moravians started the season with a 2-2 mark before winning 6 straight games, including a 24-14 win over rival Muhlenberg College to finish off the regular season. The Greyhounds traveled to Washington defeated Jefferson College for their NCAA playoff game, falling to the Presidents 27-7. Before we welcome the former players and staff in attendance today, we want to honor those players unable to attend today, especially defensive lineman Andrew Jenkins, quarterback Sean Kettle, offensive lineman Walt Lee Westervelt, and defensive back Paul Woodland, who have all passed away. Joining us at midfield this afternoon are head coach Scott Dapp, assistant coach Ed Little, assistant coach Gary Martell, and players Nick Sacco, 93, Ben Tolorico, 97, John Richards, 97, Sean Gallagher, 96, Josh Goldfarb, 95, Rob Lyon, 95, Shane Hollowell, 93, James Morrison, 94, Tim Hahn, 94, William Rossler, 97, Chad Clark, 97, Shane Lamas, 96, Stephen Musellis, 95, Sean Richardson, 97, Ian Aletta, 95, Robert Hennessy, 96, 94, Mike Chuli, 96, Matt Nedekovitz, 96, John Biseglia, 94,
If you guys want snacks, I'll hold the seats.
Jason Magnar, 96, Joey Schroeder, 96, and also assistant coach Gary Williams. Welcome back.
And welcome back to Rocco Calvo Field, landmark conference football action between the 11th ranked Susquehanna University Riverhawks and your Moravian University Greyhounds. The score 13-0 Susquehanna after the first half, but not before the Greyhounds had an opportunity knocking on the doorstep and unable to convert on 4 straight plays from the 1-yard line, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it while it was happening, but it's not a Moravian-specific thing. Both teams have done it today. A vast majority of modern offenses do this in this day and age, but I always just kind of cringe when you need less than a foot and you snap the ball back 5, 6, sometimes even 7 yards. Going backwards to go forwards just sometimes doesn't make sense to me.
Absolutely. So with that being said, the score remains 13-0. Susquehanna started off their first drive with an interception. Moravian countered that with one of their own before Susquehanna methodically moved down the field. 17-play drive, eating up over 9 minutes for the first score, and failed a 2-point conversion attempt. Next touchdown came from Sertz, the running back, from 1 yard out, to make it 13-0 with a made point after attempt. We'll go over some stats from the first half here, Tim. Tim Waite, myself, LJ Smith, on the call with you on the Greyhound Sports Network on FloSports.com. Susquehanna, 11 first downs, 4 of them in the air, 7 on the ground. Moravian had just 3 at one point, now to 9, 6 in the air, 2 on the ground, and 1, that important penalty to give them the first down on the pass interference play. 5 for 7 on third downs, 1 of 1 on fourth down for Susquehanna. Greyhounds 7 of 10 on third down and 0 for 3 on fourth down. So that's definitely something to note as well. Some stat leaders: Josh Ehrlich, 6 of 10 for 51 yards and an interception. Jenkins, 9 for 14 for 88 yards and an interception as well. Ground attack, very healthy doses for Susquehanna. Tim Grabowski, 10 attempts for 48 yards. Matt Sertz, who we saw primarily in the entire second quarter, 5 rushing attempts for 40 yards, longest of 29. And Josh Ehrlich, the quarterback, 5 attempts for 26 yards, longest of 15. We've seen him do it all today.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a balanced attack. I think we've seen both teams do what they need to do. Unfortunately, Moravians just come up a little bit short on a couple drives where, looking back, they'll see where they could have gotten a yard here, a yard there, and, that's why we have film review, and that's why they go over practice plays, and they're going to correct those things. Doesn't help them right now, but, I'm going to say I hated the term moral victory when I was a coach. Mm-hmm. I'm not a coach anymore, so I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
That first half, sure, they're losing 13-0. They're in a good spot. It's somewhat of a moral victory at the moment, and I don't want to be I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch. There's still a long way to go in this game.
Yes.
I think there are some people that probably shut up this game hoping it wasn't 35-0 at halftime.
Correct.
It very well could be. That's the type of team Susquehanna is.
Yes.
They 100% have the capability of putting up 35 points on a team in one half. So, Coach Long does not care for moral victories. I guarantee it.
Not whatsoever.
But in hindsight and much later, not right now, Coach Long's probably going to feel pretty good that it was 13-0 at the half. They get the ball back. They can make this a one-possession game in the next couple minutes here, and we have a new ball game if that happens. So.
As we get set to kick off the second half, ball is airborne. The Greyhounds traveling left to right this quarter, and white pants, blue uniforms, white helmets. Susquehanna orange pants, white jerseys, white helmets. Kick off to the Greyhounds after making a stop on the 1 yard line to keep this game at the score of 13-0. So Moravian's offense will come out, looking to get things moving. As we stated, Jenkins, his stats 9 of 14, has hit 5 different receivers, 3 of them in Bingham, Garlick, and Jordan Lewis with 2 or more catches. Ball snap, first play, handoff to Boyle, has some space, bounces off one, has an opening, going up the middle of the field, brought down at the opposing 49, and a big run to start the second half. The momentum the Greyhounds needed coming out of the locker room.
And short of a 75-yard touchdown, that's the best case scenario that offense can have. It's a big chunk play on first down, show that they are not intimidated by this Susquehanna team, and just get this second half going.
We'll see it one more time. Boyle up the middle, bounces one way, falls forward for maybe a gain of 2 yards. He's brought down by Sider. Seibert, excuse me. Back-to-back plays going to Boyle. That first play for a gain of 27 yards. Brought down by Latrey Bond. Third play of this drive. Jenkins in the pocket, hits Bingham. Sidesteps one defender, big block by Tinajero. And Bingham goes out of bounds inside the 30. They'll mark him at the 28, and a couple big plays for Moravian. Momentum on their side right now.
And obviously people are going to focus on the pitch and catch, but nice job by Tinajero with a very legal block.
Boyle brought down after maybe a yard. Jake Schultes, the senior from New Jersey.
It's a great start by Moravian so far.
Exactly what you're drawing up if you're Coach Long and Coach Kane, the OC. Exactly what you want coming out of the locker room. Trailing. Lofts the ball in the air. Bingham's there. Touchdown, Greyhounds! Jordan Bingham from Jared Jenkins. And the Greyhounds get on the board first in the second half on their opening drive. And it looks like the Greyhounds will stay on the field for a 2-point conversion to get things underway. No doubt about it. Garlick's going to come in for Tinajero.
I'm interested to see what they pull out of the hat. Moravian has made the 2-point conversion an art form this year. I don't think we've seen them run the same play twice, and they've done it 15, maybe more times this year.
14 or 15 times this season so far for Moravian. Boyle, the lone back. Bryan in motion. Pressure, open, Bingham, it's caught! 2-point conversion is good. The score, 13-8. What a drive for the Greyhounds to start the second half.
There's nothing I would change about that drive. That was a perfectly executed drive. The pass game, the run game, they had everything going. Great protection.
Perfectly executed, exactly what you need from this offense to come out and start the second half strong against this 11th ranked Susquehanna squad. As we'll get set to kick off here, we'll see what the Riverhawks can counter with, as we've seen what they've been able to do so far this first half and have a great sample size of what they've done so far this season. We spoke about this off the air before, Tim, that Susquehanna has yet to have their bye. That's what's coming up next week, so they've consistently been playing games which could be to their betterment, but also they have to get up for a game like this today before they have a week off before the final week of the season.
College football at any level is a grind, so this is game 8 for Susquehanna without a break. That's going to, actually, I believe it's game 9. Yep, game 9.
Little squib kick. He's going to bounce around. He's going to go all the way to the 15 before it's picked up. Cutting outside, that's Howes. He's going to be tripped up. Shoestring tackle. Nice play made. I believe it was Boyle.
That guy does it all.
Are you kidding? Nate Boyle with a tackle.
Has he been on coverage all year? Have I never noticed him, or is that new?
I saw him come off the field after the 2-point conversion and run back out on the field, but he is fired up right now. You love to see that type of energy out of a player.
Yeah, I'm almost speechless.
I don't even know what else to say on the topic.
Nate Boyle running down on kickoff coverage, making the tackle.
Just so impressive. All right, Susquehanna's offense on the field. First play handoff guess who? Tommy Grabowski is back on the field and able to pick up about 6 yards.
Well, the offense for Moravian did what they had to do, and now it's time for Moravian's defense to try to do what they need to do here. This Susquehanna offense is very tough to contain, but if you can get a stop here, get the ball back to your offense. The offense clearly has a lot of confidence right now, so this defense is going to look to come up big here.
We've seen a heavy dose of running so far, but Ehrlich back in the pocket with time, fires a pass right in stride. He's still going through. Ortolano's going to bring him down, but finding a window and converting it right to Kyle House.
That was a throw. That was great job threading that needle 25-plus yards downfield. I don't think we explicitly mentioned it. Ehrlich is a Division I transfer from Marist. You could see it on that throw. That was Marist is an FCS level school, so 1AA for the old-timers. But that was a Division I throw right there, no doubt.
34 yards. Ehrlich running. He's going to pick up the first down there. Isaiah Johnson and Aiden Lane, the two on the tackle. Aiden Lane, a freshman from Monroe Township, New Jersey. Johnson, we've said his name a couple times so far this afternoon. They're credited for the tackle. Ball on the 17-yard line, 16-yard line, inside the red zone now as Ehrlich with that nice run. He's back in the pocket, has some time, forced to his left near side. He's calling out. He's going to run it on his own. He reaches out, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line before Ortolano sends him out of bounds.
Well, this drive, Ehrlich's definitely putting the team on his back. Running the ball, throwing the ball. He is kind of single-handedly responding to Moravian's last drive.
So first and goal from the 2. Ehrlich is back. Grabowski next to him. Gets the handoff, will find a hole. Can he get there? He will, as he breaks the plane, and Susquehanna, just like that, counters with a touchdown of their own to make it 19-8.
Well, and that's what this Susquehanna offense has been doing all year. I mean, as much as we've talked about how methodical and impressive some of those 17-play drives were, I was surprised we didn't see these types of 4 to 5 play, averaging 15 yards per play drive. And credit to the Moravian defense,
yes,
for not allowing them those huge chunk plays in the first half, but this was kind of what I was expecting to see from Susquehanna's offense today.
Colacerdo's extra point is up, and without a doubt, good. So that makes the game 20-8 with 11:05 to play in the third quarter. 4 plays, 65 yards. 5 plays, 67 yards in 2 minutes and 6 seconds. The first drive for Moravian, their scoring drive, 5 plays, 1 minute and 45 seconds, traveling 75 yards. So both squads starting off the half with touchdown drives. It's up to the Greyhounds to see if they can have another scoring drive here, coming away with points from here on out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with Moravian being behind the 8 ball, they can't just go into shootout mode.
Yeah.
They're going to need some stops. So, no matter how the offense looks on this drive and any upcoming drives, Moravian's defense is going to need to get some stops.
Yeah, relying on the defense to kind of stand their own and give the Greyhounds offense a chance to make their way back into this. But we'll see with this kickoff here. So I believe that's 92 to kick off. Borjua.
I think that's the highest I've ever seen football pants worn above the knee.
The ball's fair caught inside the 5 by Nick Cafaro.
Moravian will start this drive at their 25-yard line. First down and 10.
So we'll see the Greyhounds offense once again in the second half. As we stated, 5 plays, 75 yards, in 1 minute and 45 seconds. So trying to capitalize quick on big plays. and trying to get Susquehanna behind here, forcing them to make their own defensive stops. Split backs, Tinajero and Boyle. Rolling near side, Lewis is open. Jared Jenkins is going to end up getting that ball thrown out of bounds with some pressure. Second and 10 for Moravian, waiting to see the number turn here on who exactly that was. I believe that was 0. Jake Schultes kind of forcing Jenkins to get rid of that ball. And flags, false start, I believe is going to be the call. We'll see who it's against here, Tim. Just said the offense, so not really a number there to go off of.
And that's, that gets you off schedule.
We've seen that be a detriment in the first half. That one drive, instead of having 3rd and 3, was 3rd and 8. Definitely changes the mindset of the play calling. So now 2nd and 15. Jenkins in the pocket, finds a streaking Bingham, wide open, untouched yet. He's going to fall forward. And a first down, Moravian, and Jordan Bingham being the go-to guy. You alluded to it early, but it took him a little bit to fall into stride here.
Well, when you have a quarterback to receiver combo like Jenkins and Bingham have been all season, maybe you don't worry about the schedule so much. 2nd and 15, fine. We'll just throw it for 18.
Quick snap there as Boyle runs for about 4 or 5, as Bingham now with 6 catches. He's over the century mark, 107 yards and a touchdown, 2-point conversion as well.
It's just kind of par for the course for him at this point.
And we're not even halfway through the 3rd quarter. Jenkins hands off Boyle. Stopped around the 44, but pushing his way towards the 46. Going to bring up 3rd and about 3. 9:50 on the game clock. Garlick going to the far side with Bryan. Double dose of Jordans on the near side, and Bingham and Lewis. Garlick coming now near side motion. Jenkins observes, 7 seconds on the play clock when he snaps it, going over the top. And Brad Bryan almost becomes the defender, as that could have been almost a clean pick.
Yeah, great job by the corner to get that inside position and take away that short throw.
Latrey Bond, the junior from Baltimore, standing his ground, and with that play, it's going to bring out the punt squad for Moravian, something we haven't seen yet today.
It's the first punt for either team.
Colin Conway, the senior.
Now, we have seen him run for a first down. I don't think it was planned. I think it was due to a bad snap, and he just made a play on his own.
Correct.
But when you're facing a top 10 team or so,
and a delay of game penalty against Moravian.
Yeah, they had every coach's biggest frustration, a substitution issue. Cameron Tinajero came out 5 to 10 seconds after the rest of the punt squad came out. And
definitely going to alter a couple things there as Tinajero now moves to the far side of the field. Conway back, waits the snap. Tinajero in motion one more time. Snap. Gets it off, a nice spiral. It's going to take a bounce. Howe is the returner. It's going to be picked up by the Greyhounds and will down the ball at the 26. As Nick Weston was the one to pick up the ball. So a 33-yard punt, as could have been very dangerous, as there was a group of Riverhawks swarming Conway there. Could have got a piece of it, still got it off with a spiral.
You know, and we're a relatively Moravian-centric crew here in the booth, but that was a great job by the Susquehanna defense. They did what they needed to do. They got to stop. I mean, that was the first time Moravians punted the ball. They got a 3-and-out. No, they did get one first down. Excuse me.
Still trucking through the Greyhounds as they're going to push him all the way. I think he's going to be just short of the first down. As Grabowski battling all the way to the 35-yard line. Pretty much stopped up short around the 32, 33, and, or excuse me, 32, 33. Gets away all the way to the 35, just short of a first down. We approach 9 minutes to play in the third. Score 20-8. Punt from the Greyhounds after a nice defensive stand by Susquehanna, and Grabowski stopped.
Another off-target snap there. We've seen that a lot today. Fortunately for Susquehanna, it hasn't led to any major problems, but in a little bit tighter game, you get nervous about stuff like that.
Eli Cantor, the center out of Percy, noted that earlier. There was a couple very noticeable snaps that Ehrlich had to make a play on before the play even started. So that's definitely something to look out for. It's at least the third or fourth time so far today.
Particularly on passing plays where he wants to get his eyes downfield. If he's having to focus on the snap that much,
another one
can really throw things off.
A little high, but this time a handoff going to Tommy Grabowski. And just getting another couple of yards on that. Second and 6 after a gain of 4 for Grabowski. And this is what we saw the Riverhawks do very well that second drive they had, eating up the clock. Methodically moving 4 or 5 yards at a time. Snap, fakes the run. Little screen pass out. Grabowski rushing out of bounds as Basile forces him out, but not before another Susquehanna first down.
You just like to see Ehrlich take what the defense gave him there. I'm sure he was looking downfield, wanted to try to take a shot. Nothing open. Credit to the Moravian defense, so he just checks it down to his running back in the flat. That turns into a first down.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've seen that so far, and that's something Susquehanna has done very well, is finding the open man and somehow managing to get to a first down. And are they going to call a false start? I know he jumped, but
he seemed to move laterally more than down across the line of scrimmage, so I'm not sure.
Head referee still waiting here.
Apparently they thought he was across the line of scrimmage.
Neutral zone.
Jeff Long does not agree.
Again with another call. It's an unfortunate break for him, and it's something to note. Seeing Coach Perk go off the field for halftime, he was motioning about the pass interference that Bingham had that led to the catch at the 1-yard line. Fortunately for Susquehanna, that didn't affect the score because they were able to make the stop there, but still visibly frustrated at that call. So 1st and 5 after the defensive penalty.
Left tackle jumped on that play, but
yet another Susquehanna first down at the hands of Grabowski, just kind of rolling forward. Look at some stats on him right now. While they get set up for this first down. Grabowski, 16 carries.
It really looked like left tackle Nick Gonzalez got a little bit of a jump on that pull and was moving before the snap.
Grabowski, 16 carries for 82 yards. As play action, he's going to fire it to the near side. Still loose is Nugent. He's going to reach forward as a couple of Greyhounds unable to get him wrapped up in Ortolano and Capobianco. Capobianco, the sophomore from Nazareth. Gain of 7. 2nd and 3 for the Riverhawks.
Ehrlich 9 of 13 on the day for 100 yards exactly. Rushing touchdown to his credit as well. Gets the snap. This time Surtz gets the handoff, finds the opening, and still rolling down. Aiden Lane, the freshman, able to wrap him up, but not before a big gain.
Yeah, right side of that offensive line just folded the defensive line down the line of scrimmage.
And Matt Surtz, we've said his name before, the first-year running back, 6'1", 215. Found a hole and went right through it. Snap, Ehrlich is going to rush for it, evading a couple of Greyhounds, but wrapped up. Demir Rooker, the sophomore out of Philadelphia. Riverhawks get a gain of 3 on that. Surtz back in, and it must be nice if you're Coach Perk to know the 2 running back core you have in Grabowski and Surtz, but then seeing Ehrlich as well, finding gaps, moving the ball efficiently. Clock continuing to count down, 4 minutes, 42 seconds. 3 on the play clock. Ball is snapped, looking to his left side, airborne, overthrows his receiver. It's going to be incomplete. We've seen that a couple times when he's gone down the field. It was intended for number 5, Kyle Howes, 6-foot junior. That stops the clock at 4:33, bringing up 3rd and 7 from inside the 10-yard line. So they can still get a first down inside the 10 to get 1st and goal. Ball snapped high again, but a handoff. It's going to go to Surtz, rumbling his way through, and I think that's going to be enough for a first down. And it will be, so that's going to bring up 1st and goal from inside the 2.
Moravian defender had a shot at that tackle around the line of scrimmage, put his head down, left his feet. Something that they'll look at on film and hope to correct.
1st and goal. We'll see if Surtz gets it or Ehrlich takes it himself. We've seen this play before with a jet sweep, but Ehrlich's going to take it himself and rush up the middle. I think he's going to be denied. He's pointing that he got in, but he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. So both safeties, Aiden Lane and Isaiah Johnson, come up big, holding Ehrlich out of the end zone. It's going to bring up 2nd and inches. Surtz back in. Stacking up the middle are the Greyhounds. High snap, Surtz cuts inside, and he's in the end zone. Or not.
Well,
from our vantage point.
I mean, from up here, it looks like he had crossed the plane, but
nonetheless, it's going to be
we're
3rd and goal.
We're at the opposite 40-yard line, so we can't
have
really.
No idea.
We can't see that.
And there's the name, Jeremy McGuigan, the Macungie product, went to Quakertown.
Yep, see.
And we're going to see tush push at its finest, going to get Ehrlich into the end zone. Who would have thought it took 3 plays to get it there? Ehrlich, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon.
Also, what do you know? You get under center, and you only need 6 yards.
It eliminates that entirely. So that's going to extend the lead for the Riverhawks, 26-8, 2:48 to play in the 3rd quarter. But it looks like Susquehanna is going to elect to go for 2 here as Ehrlich is still in the shotgun.
See if they throw a quick screen to 22.
Quad receivers
Maybe
to the
Ehrlich
left.
Runs it himself. Yep.
He's going to trying to air it out.
Out of bounds.
A hat.
The receiver took himself out of bounds, so the referees were throwing their hats instead of flags.
So it does fall incomplete. 2-point conversion failed, the 2nd one of the game for Susquehanna. So that's going to leave the score at 26-8. 2:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Well, apparently Coach Perk listens to my broadcast because they needed 6 inches. They put the guy under center. He just fell forward.
That's all he had to do. That drive for Susquehanna, 13 plays, 74 yards, 6 minutes and 30 seconds eaten up by that drive. Extending the lead here, 26-8 in favor of the 11th-ranked Riverhawks. So we'll see what the Greyhounds offense can do as they're set back. Cafaro, Bryan, and Bingham, the 3 back for Moravian. And that's going to put Dominic Borgia to kick off again for Susquehanna. Ball falls off the tee, so we'll have a reset here.
I didn't even notice.
And the ball's back on the tee. Borgia sends it airborne. And they'll let it bounce out of the end zone. Nice leg by Borgia. Sends it in the end zone. The Greyhounds will start their drive. So we'll see the offense come out one more time.
And while we're waiting for that, we do have a couple scores from around the conference. Final from up in northeastern Pennsylvania. Catholic came back to beat Keystone College 26-14. So Catholic moves to 3-5 while Keystone falls to 1-8. And in the third quarter, Lycoming easily in control over Juniata 49-0.
Okay. That ball snapped. Boyle maybe gets a yard there. Bringing up 2nd and 9. What a change of events there in La Plume as Keystone was out 14-0 at the end of, well, heading into the second quarter. Catholic scores 26 unanswered. Come away with a victory. And Lycoming up big, 49-0 over Juniata. Wilkes, the lone squad on the bye week this week. Greyhounds 2nd and 8. They gave Boyle 2 yards on that. Ball snap. Jenkins looking far side. Feels some pressure. Trying to cut back. Dropped in the backfield. Number 32, Josh Buck, the junior out of Baltimore, coming up with a sack. And a loss of 7 yards, making it 3rd and 15 for the Greyhounds.
Not a lot of play calls in the arsenal for 3rd and 15.
But we've seen Bingham make a grab from Jenkins already in a similar situation.
Yep, this is where just individual effort is more so a factor than the play call itself.
Pressure, side steps, he's up in the middle of the field. He has to get 15. Can he get there? He's still on his feet. He's going to run forward. That's a first down, Jared Jenkins.
What a play.
Love the grit from this kid.
Not to toot my own horn, I said sometimes it takes individual effort more than the play call, and
exactly
we
what
just
that
saw
was.
it. We just saw it.
Flags on the play. I don't think Susquehanna got off the field.
Yeah, Moravian went very quick.
And if that's not called, Coach Long is going to lose it.
Coach Long. Yep.
So that benefits the Greyhounds there.
We've seen them do that a number of times this season. Is after big plays, they just get on the ball right away and take advantage of defenses trying to substitute.
We saw that against the Apprentice School. We saw that against Keystone. It worked great ways.
Great job
for the
to just steal 5 yards, basically.
So 1st and 5 from the 44. Jenkins with a great rush that last play. Near side pass. Maybe gets a yard. Jordan Lewis with a grab.
Jenkins pass complete out to Lewis. No gain on the play.
Yeah, plays like that are reliant on a missed tackle. And when it doesn't happen, it doesn't necessarily look like a great play. If that had been a missed tackle, though, there was nobody else within 10 yards of him, and he gets downfield.
Hand off to Boyle up the middle. Maybe a yard. Call it 3rd and 4 from the 45. Stats say here, I believe we misspoke. It wasn't Jenkins. It looks like Kozer was the one with the rush.
Oh.
Of 19 yards to get that first down. But we'll double check that. I believe it was Jenkins.
Yeah, I don't think they would put Kozer in a game against the number 11 team in the country on a 3rd and 15. But
coming back, Jenkins doing it himself again, slides down for a Greyhound. First down on the other side of the 50.
I don't think Jenkins ever played baseball. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
his slides are not very pretty.
Not with that sliding effort there. So on the ball, just 24 on the play clock, but that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. The score: the 11th ranked Susquehanna Riverhawks 26, Moravian University 8. So after that great first drive for the Greyhounds, Susquehanna counters with one of their own, punting away the second drive of the half before Susquehanna developed another great drive for a touchdown, missing the 2-point conversion that time. 13 plays, 6.5 minutes eaten up, traveling 74 yards. Greyhounds have 15 minutes to cut into this lead even further.
Yep, I've been impressed that Susquehanna has continued to do what they've done all season. There's a reason that they come in 8-0, and we're seeing why with the way the offense and the defense have been playing, limiting Moravian to just the one touchdown so far. But also impressed with what I've seen from Moravian. Obviously, they're a little bit short on the scoreboard at the moment, but in my opinion, we have not seen them be overwhelmed, overmatched.
Correct.
I think there is a talent difference, but I don't think it's glaring. I really don't. I think some people probably saw number 11 versus a 4-3 team and thought it would be,
a lot
out of hand early.
Jenkins stays in bounds. He's going to try to fight for an extra couple of yards. He's going to get pushed out of bounds, but not before a gain of 5. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Tim.
Nope, no problem. I'll just say that this is, I mentioned it beforehand, this is the game that for the last 10 to 15 years has been circled on Moravian's calendar, at the beginning of every season. And I think that's showing today. They're not overmatched.
Mm-hmm.
They are behind, but they're not overmatched. There's a definite difference.
Couldn't agree more with you there as they're split backs. Jenkins gets the snap, steps up, has some time, finds Bingham, but he fumbles it. Is he able to get back on it?
He got it back.
I believe he is.
That should be a catch, fumble, and recovery. Oh, they're saying no catch. I feel like that was firmly in his grasp.
Oh, my goodness.
And the guy that called it incomplete came from 25 yards away
side.
On the opposite, behind the quarterback. He was nowhere downfield. Oh, they're giving him the catch.
No, they're not. Incomplete.
No, they put the ball down like they were. Man, I'll tell you what.
And Coach Long definitely needs an explanation here.
Yeah,
and he's asking the same question we are, is how is that official?
The official that made that call was behind the offensive line of scrimmage, and that ball was thrown at 15, 18 yards downfield. How he is the one that claims to have had the best view of that is...
Unfortunate break here.
I don't think it's possible that he had the best view.
Very unfortunate break for the Greyhounds. So that means it's 3rd and 5 from the 44 of Susquehanna. Snap, Jenkins with time. Runs right into the defender. He's brought down, but they'll mark his progress at the 49-48. Those officials have different marks here. 49-yard line is what they're going to call. So a loss of about 7 yards, going to bring up 4th and 12. So that's a very unfortunate break if you're Moravian. It's Bingham 5 yards past the first down, seems to have possession, ball dislodged. Whether or not he had possession or not, he falls on it. But an official from the opposite side of the field deems incomplete. That's what they go with, and Coach Long right in the face of that near side official.
That's the least enviable job in the world, is being the line judge on the sideline of the team that's upset.
And we'll take it back 5 more yards. It's going to be 4th and 17 from the 44. Conway back to punt this away, and I believe it's going to be Kyle Howes. And yet another whistle. And to get an understanding here, we're still waiting.
I believe the play clock might have been stopped. However, or excuse me, the game clock might have been stopped. However, the previous play was a sack.
So it should have been
So
running.
I believe it should have started running on the whistle.
So they add 6 seconds to the clock. They're saying the clock's going to start on the snap, even though it was a sack the last play, but a penalty after. So Conway with pressure is going to send that one away.
Nice punt.
Takes a great bounce. Cafaro unable to get there, kind of stopped instead of running it down. And the ball travels into the end zone. So it's going to give Susquehanna the ball from the 20, 13:27 on the clock.
I'm still watching Coach Long have some words with this officiating crew.
And now he's in the defensive huddle here as he'll get set. Susquehanna.
The field hockey team will travel to Susquehanna on Wednesday for the second round of the conference playoffs.
So it's just announced the Moravian field hockey team defeated Elizabethtown in the first round of the Landmark Conference playoffs. They'll head to Susquehanna Wednesday for the second round. So congratulations to the Moravian University field hockey squad on a playoff victory. Handoff, met in the backfield, is Grabowski. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage after getting some contact in the backfield.
If you're Moravian here, I think you have to start being a little bit more aggressive, taking some risks, because you need to force a turnover. I mean, it's a 3-possession game at this point. And, I mean, you need that ball back. And we've seen Susquehanna hold the ball and have 6, 7, 9-minute drives, and that can't afford that now. And there's 12 minutes left in this game.
So we need to come up with a stop. It's 2nd and 10 after getting back to the line of scrimmage was Grabowski. He'll get it one more time, trying to break outside and wrapped up.
Grabowski, the ball carrier, brought down by number 90, Calvin King, and number 51, Ethan
O'Neill. Credited for that. And Kevin King, the Allentown native. So 3rd and 5.
Moravians in man coverage here. We saw that on the interception earlier this game. They don't go man a lot, so.
And over the middle, the pass completed to the junior Kyle Howes.
You got a flag in the backfield, and the way Susquehanna is responding, they don't look excited. So.
Coach Long trying to go to the near side official. So a legal block below the legs going against Susquehanna is the call. So it's going to stay 3rd down, but a big loss for them. Coach Long goes to talk to the official, and Howes is in front of him. He looks like he's yelling at Howes. Him and Coach Long exchange high fives. But that's going to change the field here for Susquehanna. So 3rd and long.
You know, and if I'm Coach Perk here with a lead, I'm probably running a draw, a screen, something high percentage completion, just so I'm not putting myself in a turnover situation. You know, maybe you still have to punt, but at least you're not giving Moravian the ball close to the goal line. So look for a draw or a screen here.
3rd and 17, pressure back. He evades it for now. He's going to take it himself. Breaks one tackle, but Ortolano knocks him down. He'll be dropped around the 22, maybe 23-yard line. That's still going to bring up 4th and about 7 or 8. So the punt squad for the first time will come out for the Riverhawks.
That's a great open field tackle by Ortolano. Moravian is, they list Ortolano as a linebacker. He's really more of a safety, you know, 188 pounds. He plays down by the line of scrimmage a lot, but you know, he's more athletic than your average Division III linebacker and able to make that play in open space.
Ortolano with at least 6th, I believe his 7th tackle. Punt going to take one bounce. It's going to go to the 30 and continue to bounce further back. Not going to be picking it up is Will Castell. It's going to be down at the 25. A couple of Greyhound, Aiden Lane and Clay Basile, each with 10 total tackles, 5 solo, 5 assists. Ortolano 6 individual tackles himself. Nate Carr also with 6, Jeremy McGuigan with 5 for the Greyhounds defense. So a 52-yard punt for Aaron Kahn, and Susquehanna is going to have the Greyhounds start at the 25-yard line. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go. The score 26-8. The 11th-ranked Riverhawks leading Moravian on Family Day. Jenkins evades, cuts back in, going to run forward and land about the 31 for a gain of 6.
Susquehanna is going to give that up every play at this point. If you want to gain 6 yards, great. Clock keeps running.
Nothing over the top.
They're not worried about that. They are doing, it's not necessarily prevent defense. They don't have, to my knowledge, it doesn't look like they have extra DBs out on the field. It's still their base defense. But they'll give up the run. They don't care about the run at this point.
Jenkins gets the snap. Quick pass out wide at the first down marker. Brad Bryan unable to be brought down as he'll be pushed out of bounds. Call it the 38-yard line, maybe the 39. But nonetheless, a Greyhound first down. Needs to extend the drive. And they're going to go quick here. Susquehanna didn't seem to be moving with that much movement. Kozer absorbs a hit. So Kozer, as Josh Parson, the senior out of Delaware, comes up with the tackle. 2nd and 5 coming for the Greyhounds. Bingham and Bryan, the receivers on the far side. Looks like Bryan's going to come near side with Kozer and Jordan Lewis. Boyle, the lone back with Jenkins in the shotgun. Hesitates, scans the field. Jordan Lewis wide open. Absorbs a hit as he's met by Keith Green III. And a nice reception by Lewis in the open field, getting another first down for Moravian and moving the chains once again. Quick move, Boyle cuts outside. He's still on his feet. He's going. He's going to be brought down. Call it the 33. But my goodness, can he run? A power back for sure.
A surprising amount of nimbleness for a guy that you think of more as just a downhill power runner.
Listed 5'9", 205. He's back again in the backfield. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard gain from Boyle. Bingham in motion. Jenkins avoids, but sandwiched at the 45. He's brought down by Tim Furson and Drew Robinson. Tim Furson, the Phillipsburg native, getting a half a sack there as Jenkins lines up. Goes from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 12.
And this is Bingham territory. Susquehanna knows it. He still managed to get open a few times.
Boyle with a block. Jordan Lewis wide open, makes the catch at the 20. Goes out of bounds at the 16. Jordan Lewis getting added to the mix here.
Great job by Jenkins of seeing the cover 2 defense. The corner let Lewis get past him upfield on purpose. Not a bad play by the corner. He stays in the flat. The safety didn't get over in time.
Quick snap. Jenkins rolls out to his right. Has wide open. Underthrown. He catches it. Touchdown, Greyhounds! Brad Bryant on the far side of the end zone. Jenkins finds another receiver for his 2nd touchdown throw of the game. It's 14-26.
That's exactly what Moravian needed.
Greyhounds on the field for a 2-point conversion. If converted, a 10-point game.
Yep, we've seen Statues of Liberty, we've seen reverses, we've seen double passes. What do we have this time?
Jenkins. Stopped.
We got to get him. That's 2 points.
Brought down. He may have fumbled, but nonetheless, Boyle brings him down. We've seen him make a tackle already. An unfortunate break there. The game stays at 12 points. 26-14, though. Jenkins throws his 2nd touchdown of the game.
So that looked to be a speed option type of play, and
broken up nicely by the
Jenkins
Susquehanna
didn't
defense.
really have a chance to get that pitch even off. He was pretty much swallowed right after he got the snap. So
as soon as the Riverhawk got in the backfield, there wasn't too many choices for Jenkins to pitch it to Boyle, so he had to try to do it himself. Wrapped up almost immediately after. And Susquehanna about to get the ball back as Moravian's going to kick off. 7 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. The 11th ranked Riverhawks lead Moravian 26-14. Susquehanna with two missed 2-point conversions, 2 failed 2-point conversions. Moravian fails on that last attempt, so this is the score, 26-14. With that last touchdown pass, Jared Jenkins ties the single-season record for TDs in the single season with that. Look at that note in a second as we get set for kickoff here.
Moravian still has 2 games to play.
That's very impressive. Jared Jenkins.
And LJ, while you're looking that up, now that we kind of have seen it coming, Nate Boyle is, in fact, out there. And we may have an onside kick here. Maybe not.
There is. Falls on it, flag on the play, so maybe
offsides.
Offside.
Yep. So Susquehanna recovered. The penalty doesn't matter, but had Moravian been able to recover that, there would have been a penalty on Moravian.
So 2nd touchdown pass of the game ties the single season mark of 23 touchdown passes in a season.
We've seen him just make plays all year. Not surprised that he's climbing up the leaderboard. A little surprised it happened in game 8.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive.
So with the offsides penalty against the Greyhounds on the onside kick, Susquehanna will start with the ball on the Greyhounds' 38-yard line. 7:17 remaining. Short field for the Riverhawks on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Bethlehem. 79 degrees right now as jet sweep to the far side as Howes is going to go all the way beyond the first down mark. It will be pushed out of bounds around the 24-yard line. We've seen that a few times going to Howes.
Yep, and those are the easiest yards Ehrlich is going to throw all day because technically that is a forward pass. That little underhand toss.
Shuffle pass forward.
Is a forward pass. So add 14 or so yards to Ehrlich's total there.
He's definitely doing his need here.
And if you're Moravian, I mean, I know you put yourself in a hole with that onside kick, the field position, but you got to try some things when you're playing the number 11 team in the country. So,
little pass to Howes after that sweep outside. He's going to be forced out of bounds by number 21, Cheyenne Dean.
That was a nice play by number 23, Chris Buchter, that won't go in any sort of stats, but he had an opportunity to absolutely demolish a Moravian defender. But it would have been a blindside block. It would have been penalized if he had done it, and he laid off. So
very smart play.
Kind of hidden yardage there, because that would have been a 15-yard penalty if he had done what I think a lot of people would have
expected.
Done.
Yeah, that impulse of just hitting. Ball snap. Grabowski once again gets the ball. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4. Score 26-14 as Susquehanna manages the clock. It's all on them right now as they've been snapping the ball with about 5 or less seconds on each play clock. So they're taking their time to get set up here. Nugent, the near side receiver.
And sometimes you see high-powered offenses kind of actually struggle to adapt their game to a slower pace. I've not seen that from.
With time, Ehrlich's going to run on his own. E.J. Harvey is going to be the closest Greyhound. He tries to avoid contact, and
I mean,
Ehrlich's
looking for a penalty, but that
was not.
That was purely incidental.
Yeah. So it gets a first down inside the 15. Riverhawks can extend the drive here. And they'll eat all the time off this play clock.
I wonder when Coach Long starts to think about taking timeouts. I mean, sometimes you do that with less than 2 minutes, but
being down
in
by
a multi-possession game, you got to do it sooner.
So 2 on the play clock when the ball's snapped, and that's Grabowski.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one here with a nice stop on first down. Yep.
And we'll see it. You called it exactly that, Coach Tim.
If they gain 8 or 9 yards,
different.
It's different, but
no gain. 2nd and 10 is the call. Is the yardage? So no gain. And McGuigan gets credit for the stop.
2nd and 9 for the Riverhawks after the timeout.
And the Greyhounds take their first of the half. 4:37 remaining. And we'll look here what is next for the Greyhounds as Susquehanna, after today's game, has a bye next week before closing out the regular season at home against Lycoming with a 1 p.m. kickoff in Selinsgrove in 2 weeks. The Greyhounds' final 2 games of the season next week on the road at Lycoming, 1 p.m. kickoff. The Greyhounds close out the regular season November 11th as they play host to Wilkes. 12 p.m. kickoff right here, Rocco Calvo Field, to conclude the regular season. Susquehanna 8-0 right now. If the result stands, the score stands, the result improving Susquehanna to 9-0. Moravian would fall to 4-4 and earn their first blemish in landmark conference action.
Yep, and a win here, if my math is correct, pretty much guarantees a conference championship for Susquehanna, because even if they were to lose to Lycoming, oh goodness.
Bullied over and getting into the end zone. My goodness. Tommy Grabowski runs through the defense and extends the lead here. 32-14.
I mean, that was a physical run.
Grabowski, the 6', 200-pound sophomore from Wyomissing, bullies his way into the end zone. Clock stops, 4:29 remaining in the game. Extra point forthcoming. Colasierdo awaits it. Nugent will hold. Kick is up and sails through the uprights.
So as I was saying prior to that touchdown run, I believe a Susquehanna victory here pretty much ensures them a landmark conference title, because they would hold should they lose to Lycoming. And even if Moravian were to win their last 2 games, they would both be 5-1. And Susquehanna would hold that tiebreaker because of the win today over Moravian. So
Susquehanna parents and friends can meet the Riverhawk players by the shed at the University bleachers.
So the score now 33-14. The 11th ranked Riverhawks lead the Greyhounds on Family Day. So we get set for kickoff. Borgia will send it in the air. With a nice leg on that. I believe that's going to be Cafaro again on the kickoff. He'll cut it up the field, avoiding, but his shoestring tackle is just enough to be brought down by number 44.
Kick out to the 26-yard line where Moravian will take over. 1st and 10.
There's a couple 24s on the roster, either Logan Arnold, I believe it's Logan Arnold. Nick Bloss listed as a kicker. So Logan Arnold coming up with the stop. Jenkins gets the snap, looks out wide, still traveling, tries to cut back, loses his footing, runs into his own blocker, ball airborne, through the hands of Avery Kozer.
Jenkins pass to Avery Kozer is incomplete. However, there is a flag on the play.
Flag on the far side in front of Susquehanna's bench around the 41-yard line. The Susquehanna 41, that is. As Kozer just through the fingertips.
maybe a sideline infraction, something like that, just based on where the flag is sitting. Yep. Offense. That flag was thrown by the official standing on the Susquehanna sideline.
I am so confused. I don't understand how it could be.
The official has to have said the wrong team. I mean, that was thrown by the Susquehanna sideline official.
Jared Jenkins finds Bingham. Forward progress. He's still moving. He's not done. He's lifted up, but it's going to be just about a first down. Oh. And they're going to be a first down anyway. So they're not going to throw a flag, but I think they're going to give him the first down.
I mean, a flag was thrown.
So they will call a flag against the defense after that.
So that's 15 additional yards.
To the first down, so they'll count that off. Could have been definitely interesting. 4:01 on the game clock. 33-14 is the score as the Riverhawks lead the Greyhounds. So the ball is going to be spotted around the, 49-yard line of Susquehanna. So they're going to get ready to snap the ball. They're ready as just a second goes off the play clock. Jenkins sails Kozer as Brad Bryan.
A lot of pressure here on the Moravian offensive line. Susquehanna knows they're passing.
Yes.
They're down 3 possessions with 4 minutes left. You know, they're not running the ball here. So they're going to have their ears pinned back. So a lot of tough job coming up here for this Moravian offensive line to keep Jenkins upright.
3:57 remains. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Jenkins back in the pocket, steps up, avoids. He's going to take it himself, cutting back, absorbs some contact, but I think he'll be down good enough for a first down as the going to move the chains once again. So Jenkins having to do it himself.
He has a knack for getting exactly the amount of yards he needs.
He's been right at the chain at least 3 times so far this afternoon. Clock continues to run. We're about 3:30 as Jenkins is going to hand it off to Boyle, but before that, whistle. I'm going to call a false start, I believe, against the offense. It's going to go against number 50, Brandon Guffey, the junior from Easton, attended Notre Dame. So 1st and 15 from the 44. As the clock's going to continue to run down. .15 on the play clock. Jenkins examining the defense. Change it up here. 5 on the play clock as the ball is snapped. Cuts inside. He's going to get maybe about 10 yards. That's Jenkins' 14th rushing attempt of the afternoon. He's 19 of 29 for 233 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception on the first drive of the afternoon. 2nd and 7. Has time in the pocket, steps into it. Bingham met at the sticks. Should be good enough for a Greyhound. First down it is, as the ball's going to be placed around the 28-yard line. His 20th completion of the afternoon. Bingham, his 8th reception for almost 130 yards. Rolling out to the near side, steps up, throwing, looking for Bingham. Going through the hands of the defender, number 22. Steve Williams III, the junior from Baltimore, has it go through his hands. So 2nd and 10, 2.
I think Bingham was a little gassed on that play. Yep, that was an incomplete pass. The clock did keep running, so fortunately the officials were on it there.
So to add time on the clock, 2:20 remaining. 2nd and 10 for Moravian after the incomplete pass intended for Bingham went through the hands of Steve Williams III. Ball snap, Jenkins looks for Lewis, unable to pull it in. I believe he had it in his control. Defender's hands got on it. Looked to be Josh Lassane, and it kind of just sailed down his leg there.
Yeah, ball was a little behind him. I think Jenkins will tell you he could have put that in a little bit better spot for him. You're going to have Bingham isolated down here at the bottom of your screen.
It'll be covered by Latrey Bond.
Might see some sort of slant, something like that, to try to get him to take advantage of all that open space.
3 receivers on the far side of the field. Ball snap, Jenkins has to cut up the field. Wide open is Brad Bryan, overthrown in the back of the end zone. Nice look, just unable to convert the throw.
We've seen him make so many of those kind of on the run, making it up as he goes type throws. Those aren't easy throws to actually make for all the success he's had with them. So, I mean, just couldn't connect on that one. You know, if he'd had a chance to set his feet, that's a different story, but.
And it's going to be a timeout for the Greyhounds. Their 2nd of the second half. And they'll regroup here, 4th and 10, 2:09 remaining. The score, 33-14. So we stated the Greyhounds on the road next week to take on Lycoming. A score from that game, Tim.
With about 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Lycoming still comfortably in the lead, 56-10 over Juniata.
Okay. So that's who the Greyhounds will head to. Back-to-back home games for Lycoming as the Greyhounds make the trip there next week. The standings we'll go over shortly after the conclusion of this game and what would rattle out to end the last 2 weeks following the conclusion of this game. 2:09 on the game clock. 4th and 10 for the Greyhounds, but now a timeout taken by Coach Perk and Susquehanna. So that'll give us a little bit of time to go over the standings throughout the rest of the season. So if the result stands here, 33-14 the score in favor of the Riverhawks, they will improve to 5-0 in the conference going into a bye next week. The Greyhounds would fall to 3-1 to be tied with Wilkes, who are on their bye. Lycoming also looking to improve to 3-1 with a comfortable lead over Juniata. Catholic with a victory today over Keystone. So I believe they improved to 2-3. Juniata would be 0-4 if that result stands, and Keystone would be 0-6 because they have a bye week at the final week of the season. Unless that result is already final. I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. But if the result stands and Lycoming comes out victorious, there will be a three-way tie for second between Wilkes and Lycoming and Moravian. That's the last two teams Moravian had to end the season. 4th and 10, a flag. False start against the offense is the call, so even more trouble for Moravian. Didn't actually hear a number there, but it looked to be in the vicinity of number 65, the junior Rains Lady out of New Hope, Pennsylvania. Or from what I heard, it might be number 1, Jordan Lewis, that got the call there. Motion is Tim Garlick. 4th and 15. Bringing the house. Jenkins unable to get away.
He didn't have a chance.
Sacked by number 94-4. Tim Furson. And Drew Robinson. And turnover on downs gives Susquehanna the ball with 2:05 to play. 2 timeouts. The Greyhounds with just 1 timeout. So ball on the 43-yard line for the Riverhawks. Looking to move to 9-0 on the year, 5-0 in the Landmark Conference action.
You know, and this is a situation where if you're a Moravian defensive player, a little bit of personal pride on the line here. You know, the outcome at this point is pretty much decided.
And a big hit there as Schultz.
But you don't want to give up another score here.
Sertz, excuse me, yes. Moravian will take their last timeout of the game as Sertz unable to barely get a yard there. But yeah, looking at the standings here, Tim, Susquehanna will eventually improve to 5-0 unless drastic measures here. Moravian would fall to 3-1. Wilkes stays stagnant at 3-1, and Lycoming, if they hold on, improves to 3-1. So a three-way tie at the 2 spot with a lot to play for, meaningful football.
With Moravian playing both of those 2 teams that they'll be tied with.
Correct.
Still to play those teams.
So the top team in the Landmark Conference earns the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Second place team in the Landmark Conference earns a home bowl game against the number 3 team in the ODAC Conference, the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. The third place team in the Landmark Conference goes to the second place team in the ODAC Conference. So there are bowl games on the line that are very meaningful for both of these squads coming forward. And Wilkes, Lycoming, and Moravian all have...
There are 4 teams for 3 spots.
Yes.
So going to be a fun last couple weeks. A lot still to play for.
Second, and they're still going to call it 10 yards. Split backs, motion, Howes coming to the near side. 2nd and 10. Greyhounds can no longer stop the clock. They'll hand it off to Sertz. Nate Carr going to be given the stop. And the clock will run down as far as they can let it. About 1:04 before they need to snap the ball at 3rd and 7.
I think we're going to see Coach Perkovich take a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock here.
Just exhaust the clock, as you can see him standing on the sideline with the official watching the play clock go down. And we'll wait for the sign here, and he'll give it with a second left, so the clock's going to stop at 1:05. And their second of the second half. They'll run another play.
Probably do the exact same thing.
Exactly that. Before they either elect to punt the ball or whatever they have to do here to exhaust the clock on this Greyhounds family day. Score 33-14. First game for the Greyhounds home in about a month. Entering with a 3-game win streak, 3-0 in the Landmark Conference, on the verge of their first loss in conference action. Susquehanna looks to improve to 9-0 and 5-0 in the conference. Susquehanna could ride a victory into the bye week before they close out the season against Lycoming, who still has a commanding 56-10 lead over Juniata. Ball snapped. They're going to fake a handoff. Or are they going to go deep? He's going to run up, step in the pocket. He's going to get rid of it. It's going to be a first down for Susquehanna, and that'll move the chains. Should at least.
That's a terrible spot. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, ultimately it doesn't matter. But
there's 52 seconds left in a.
There's an injury on the field, a Greyhound down on the far side. Can't see a number yet. It looks like Johnson once again for Moravian, if I can see the number 2 there. Isaiah Johnson, the junior out of Hillside, New Jersey. He's going to limp off the field. And if they spot the ball a yard short, he did come back on his own, I guess, because he was stopped. The progress was stopped about 2 yards past the first down.
I don't know that he came back that far.
Yeah. For a measurement, so they will measure it as 52 seconds on the game clock. We'll go over some stats while we have the time too. Susquehanna on the verge of potentially 25 first downs, but currently listed with 24 to Moravian's 22. Greyhounds did it in the air, 15 passing, 6 rushing. Susquehanna did it on the ground, 17 rushing, first down, 7 in the air. Third down efficiency, 67% for Susquehanna, 8 of 12. Greyhounds, 63%. Of 10 of 16, and I believe it's going to be just short of a first down, so it'll be 4th and inches forthcoming for the Riverhawks offense. 4th down efficiency, Susquehanna's gone for it once so far. The Greyhounds 0 for 4 on their opportunities. Moravian has ran more total plays, 71 total plays, Susquehanna with 59 at the moment. So 4th and 1, Susquehanna on the field. The clock's going to run about, 11 to 12 second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Susquehanna with 1 timeout. They're going to rush up to the line. We'll see if we do the tush push here or not. Ehrlich scored both times on there, doing so. 15 on the play clock. They're going to look back. see if they're going to call a timeout or not here. I think they're just going to wait it out.
If anything, they might just take the delay, the extra second off the clock and punt it with 10 seconds, 11 seconds left.
They're going to call a timeout with a second left. And 12 seconds now on the game clock, so we'll have some more time to go over some stats. Total yards of offense so far, relatively similar. Greyhounds trying to keep up with the 11th ranked team in the country. 363 yards, for Susquehanna, 354 for the Greyhounds this afternoon. Average yards per play, 6.1 for the Riverhawks. Completions, 20 of 33 is Jenkins, 12 of 17 is Ehrlich. Net rushing yards, 113 for Moravian, but the difference this afternoon, 238 net rushing yards for the Riverhawks, and that was pretty evident with the duo of Grabowski and Sertz, as they'll get set to run what could potentially be the final play of the afternoon, as maybe they'll take a knee and turn it over. No, they're going to push it forward. Good enough for a Riverhawk first down, and that's how the ball game will end. Once they set the ball up, the clock will begin to run. And that'll do it from Rocco Calvo Field. The Greyhounds fall to the 11th ranked Susquehanna University Riverhawks, 33-14. Tim, not the result the Greyhounds wanted, but put up a fight against this 11th ranked squad.
Yeah, I said it. Maybe going into halftime, Moravian came up short on the scoreboard. They were not overmatched. They didn't win the game, but they were not overmatched. Susquehanna's offense is so prolific, I had to get my calculator out because I can't those numbers are so high, I couldn't add them up in my head. They have, in conference play before today, they had outscored opponents 209-28. That's an average game of 52-7. So 45-point margin of victory is what they have been able to do throughout this conference so far. 19 points today. Again, I mentioned it earlier, I hated moral victories as a coach.
Yep.
Coach Long, if I were to go up to him right now and try to talk to him about a moral victory, he would have some not very kind things to say to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not a coach anymore, and this was, for all intents and purposes, a moral victory. Other teams, they're losing by 45 points to these guys. Moravian, less than half that. So, they came up short, but again, they were not overmatched in this game.
A lot to hang your hat on moving forward into the final 2 weeks of the regular season if you are the Greyhounds. We'll go over some final stats. Josh Ehrlich, 12 of 17 for 125 yards and an interception. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns, 13 attempts for 74 yards. Tommy Grabowski, 97 yards on the ground in 21 attempts. Matt Sertz had 10 attempts for 70 yards. All the touchdowns coming on the ground for Susquehanna. Jenkins, 20 of 33 for 241 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. Nate Boyle, 21 touches, 77 yards. Jenkins, 15 rushes for 28 yards as well. And then different targets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different targets for Jared Jenkins. 8 going to Bingham for 125 yards. Jordan Lewis getting 5 catches for over 50 yards. Garlick, 2 for 26. Brad Bryan, 3 catches for 25. Bryan and Bingham with touchdowns in the air this afternoon. Top target for Ehrlich and the Riverhawks. Kyle Howes, 6 receptions, 67 yards. Eddie Nugent, 2 catches for 22. And the tight end, Rowan Hershey, 17 yards on his lone catch of the game. We went over the stats, and Tim, you gave me your kind of analysis of the game, but a lot to look forward to if you're the Greyhounds. You have a road contest next week before returning home for the final home game of the regular season. And we've stated this numerous times, there's a lot to play for that second and third spot to get bowl games if you're unable to get to the NCAA tournament because this very talented Susquehanna squad.
Yeah, if you're Coach Long, it's an easy message to the team. Today didn't go our way. but we still hold our own destiny in our hands as it goes for a postseason game. If we win out, we go to a bowl game. No, I mean, there's nothing else, no ifs, ands, or buts. So plenty to get the guys motivated. Some guys they're getting, 48-hour rule. The rest of the weekend, you can be a little bit down because of how today went. Monday, you're back to work. So
Susquehanna improves to 9-0 on the year, 5-0 in Landmark Conference action. The Greyhounds fall to 4-4 in their first loss in Landmark Conference action, going to 3-1 next week. The Greyhounds on the road at Lycoming, a 1 p.m. kickoff, a bye week for Susquehanna before the Riverhawks end the season at home against Lycoming. That's a 1 p.m. kickoff November 11th. We will join you back here at Rocco Calvo Field November 11th as the Greyhounds take on Wilkes for a noon kickoff here on Senior Day. This afternoon, Tim Waite, LJ Smith on the call with you on behalf of the entire Moravian Athletic Communications Department. Mark Fleming, myself, LJ Smith, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Your career to the next level, or finish that degree you started but could never find the time to finish. Moravian University offers online graduate business programs, as well as online adult degree completion programs to fit your busy lifestyle. The Moravian location in Lancaster offers you the opportunity to meet with one of our team members and design a plan that helps you earn the degree you want. Moravian University, your degree, your way.